The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Listen here, this is a fact of life. I be rapping like Nat Turner came back to life. Grab Donald Trump by the pussy, he ain't acting right. I never run from a conflict, I be glad to fight. It's a very cold world that we living in. Somebody please tell Elizabeth you're not an Indian. You just trying to con them people to get the benefit. Just another immigrant, stealing from the Indians. That's some punk ass shit and that's too lame. Now we finna step over to Andrew Yang. And you a sucker, you could never speak for black folks. Fake ass pandemic, trying to get the black vote. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You know your boy be high off sativa. Kamala wasn't popping, so we said bye, Felicia. She ain't had a right policy. We ain't trying to meet her. Y'all can take Biden too. Bye. We don't need him. We don't need Roland Martin or that coon Al Sharpton. Didn't need Cory Booker from the start, man. I don't fuck with police and no snitch. You know I'm coming with the heat when I spit it. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. If you ever go to court and this is your luck, try not to get fucked by Benjamin Crump. I know it's hard. You and go is hard. But who the fuck is Amy Cloak? Put her picture up on the bullseye and start throwing darts. People cut our organs out our bodies, that's a stolen heart. They can't save us from the flood like Noah's Ark. Black lives always matter, we finna go for ours. So then we savages, we don't need to pot the piss. Mike Bloomberg can suck dick with that stop and frisk, bitch. You ain't speaking for us, we don't know you. Bernie Sanders, they get your funky ass on too. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me.
I'm talking about shout it going crazy. People going crazy in them motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it's nothing. Nothing about a woman on a day. Man made the car. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water. Like the 7-millimeter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. And man makes them happy. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man
Greetings, Black family. Greetings. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chan Kruma. We should be joined with our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Corey's real soon. And Lady Che, our other host, is somewhere in the background. And on this season 4, episode 31, part 1 of the Frontline Black News, we'll be discussing several topics. The first topic is the tangibles. Exactly, Mac 285. Tangibles. It's the year and the decade of tangibles. So continue to mass up the tangible for your vote all the way up to 2,100. Then we got Spike Lee sells out Kamala, sells out to Kamala in old Sambo. What do you ask me these questions after we done went live? I don't know why people do that. We're live and you want to ask all these questions. Shabaka's just going to have to hit the link. Shabaka want to know what the topics are. Then we got Black women aren't supporting VP Kamala Harris because they don't trust her. Great news. And we got MSNBC's host has meltdown after Kamala's disastrous CNN town hall. Then we got Democratic Shill, Bakari sellers, cries and says Black men need to be there to protect VP Harris. I know, Mac 285, they are definitely desperate. And then we got Dr. Jamal Bryant admits the Black church lost its cultural relevance in Black America. Oh, no shit. It took you, 20 years to realize that? Then we got MAYO mob harassed a young Black man for no reason. Then we got Black man Shoccs MSNBC host Alex Wagner on his stance about illegal migrants. Then we got update in the Ahmaud Arbery case. His killers, the McMichaels and Bryan, won a new trial. Hell to the no. Then we got former Georgia DA Jackie Johnson case reaches 30-year mark with no trial date set. That's the one that was responsible for, or didn't want to charge the McMichaels in the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Then we got, if we have time, Rudy Giuliani, or in this case, Rudy Gargoyle Giuliani, forced to give up his assets to Georgia election workers he lied on. So those are the topics for tonight. Make sure y'all like to subscribe to Frontline Black News. We're going to hop right into it. This is the year and a decade of tangibles. Continue to master the tangible for your vote. So we start off every show. First, them intangibles. So everything remains the same. The only thing that's changed is the year. So instead of tangibles 2020, it's tangibles 2024. But everything else remains the same. So the 2024 presidential elections are coming up. And foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system. This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms, lumping foundational Black Americans in the groups of minorities, immigrants, people of color, BIPOC, underserved, underprivileged, marginalized. The list goes on and on, etc. has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this election cycle, meaning the 2024 election cycle, the Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits. Specifically for us, we do not want trickle-down, secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups who often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundation of Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. And since it's 2024, it's Tangibles 2024. All the way up to 2100, Black family, continue to demand something tangible for your vote. Let's take this back so long. Let's get on here. Hold on, y'all. Let's send Shabaka this email. How do you reply on Outlook? Outlook looks so different now. I can't recognize it. Okay. Everything was super zoomed in. Okay, Shabaka should be joining us here shortly. I don't know why it's taking so long to get the link. But yeah, continue to mass up the tangible for your vote, Black family, all the way up to 2100. So any politician that's seeking your vote, including myself, demand something tangible for your vote. Otherwise, don't even waste your time. So like Mac 285 said, the Democrats are desperate. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do, and we're loving every minute of it because we've been calling for the collapse of the two-party systems. This is great news. So we talk about the tangibles. And that's something real, something with substance, something you can count, measure, feel, touch with your own hand, i.e. a check for reparations, i.e. legislation that's specifically for us, such as an anti-Black hate crime bill. Hey, okay, Matt 285, I see you. You said he wrote in Cornel West. Are you going to write in Cornel West? Okay, yeah, please do. He is on the ballot in 20 states and 25 states. He has to be a write-in. One of the states he is definitely on the ballot is Colorado, and that's thanks to me and Lady Chase, so, in the Unity Party of Colorado. And we got to support the brother. That's right, Mac 285. We do. We got to support the brother. So yeah, like I said, he's on the ballot in 20 states. One of them includes Colorado, and he is eligible to be a write-in in 25 states. So you can write him in as Mac 285 is done. Mac 285, you're in Texas, right? So you wrote him in Texas, and then or you're in Georgia. No, you're in Georgia. So you wrote him in Georgia, okay. And then it's the 285 because that's Georgia, right? Yeah. And then there's 5 states he's not allowed to be on the ballot or a write-in. And that's just how them states were set up, and the Democrats in those states made it real hard for him to get on the ballot. So we were able to get him on the ballot here in Colorado. So I've already filled him in, as well as myself, because I am also a candidate on the ballot here in the state of Colorado for House District 8. So I'm the only Black candidate on the ballot, matter of fact. So, and including myself, demand something tangible for your vote. Oh, Shabaka, what's taking you so long? I'm gonna stall for Shabaka. I guess Lady Che would like to say something. Hold on.
That was a mouse.
It needs to be charged. Not plugged up.
It's not.
No, it's not. Shabaka, I'm in the studio waiting on you. We just finished up with tangibles.
Conserve energy.
Okay.
Still not working.
I think you meant 285.
Still not working.
I don't know. It's not working because it's plugged up. Oh yeah. So the days are over of them fear mongering us and browbeating us into voting blue. No matter who, them days are over. They want our vote. They're gonna have to do something tangible. Otherwise, the Democrats is gonna keep losing election cycles. We are very serious about our tangibles, and we are not letting up at all. In fact, we're gonna double and triple down. So if that means the Democrats gotta lose the next 3 election cycles, so be it, so see it. We don't care at this point because they have taken our votes for granted for far too long. Oh, Shabaka, what is taking you so long?
Probably the data.
No, it's not that.
No, it's the other conservative.
No, it's not that. It already re-upped. You already read up on the data, so that's not it. There. It's you and him.
Oh, wait. Don't have me yet.
Shabaka.
Wait, don't have me yet.
Shabaka,
I didn't mean to come on.
Greetings, Shabaka.
Where's my avatar?
I don't know.
What the hell happened to my avatar?
I don't know. Turn your camera off.
Turn the camera off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. That's your camera. You got the camera on. So you got the camera covered up.
It off.
Okay. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Okay, my bad. Okay.
All right, Shabaka.
Okay, let me get a headset.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we got Shabaka on the line, our West Coast correspondent. Greetings, Shabaka, from the Mile High Income and Illegal Market in flooded city. All right, just so he had to get his headset. Matt 285 says greetings. Is Twin in here too? Twin, are you in here as well? Shabaka?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, Mac 285.
Greetings, Shabaka. What are your thoughts on the tangibles? We just finished up with the tangibles. I was still waiting on you to get on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely the tangibles. And then we're going to keep reminding people that
tell the people what the tangibles are.
Oh,
we gotta stay on topic. What are the tangibles?
Okay, the topic. Okay, the tangibles is reparations is one, land, controlling our own commercial interests, and the
No,
bill
not
is up.
land, Shabaka, money,
Yeah. Oh, yes,
cash,
sir. Yeah, and that's what I'm was leading up to, and also too reparations payments. You see what I'm saying?
direct
For
cash
for the
payments,
yes, sir,
lineage
and
based.
yeah, lineage based cash payments for slavery, and then also too they're gonna want evidence, for it, and my family has traced his lineage to the has traced his lineage. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
And
greetings, ladies here.
And then also too, the cash payments we could parlay off into land or investments, opportunities, education, anything that we want to do with it. And the bill is $200 trillion.
200 trillion. No, it's 200 trillion. Jesus.
No,
No, it's up to a gazillion now, Shabaki.
yeah, gazillion, yes, sir. Okay, the number sequence after the trillions is because all the wealth that we had generated, and then the wealth that was off the wealth that we had generated, and we don't get shit, and we supposed to sit up here, as you say, it's supposed to be classified as people of color, marginalized minorities. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they owe
And
us the world. Yeah, they do owe us the world. But we can start right here, twin. Or
Yeah,
Max.
that's right, Mac 285. They do owe us the damn world, is because if it wasn't for Africa, man, and our free labor, you see what I'm saying? The damn European American economy wouldn't exist, just like the damn Chinese economy wouldn't exist. It's because they're over there taking over where the damn colonialists left off. And then the main problem to it is that damn neo-colonialists. That's worse.
You're talking about the tethers now, Shabaki.
Tethers.
Goddamn tethers now.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that your final thoughts on the tangibles?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
And
Continue the man.
okay, and also too, the reason for the tangibles is because you get all these folks. Well, you call it don't deserve reparations. Now you give us a damn reparations. What's going to happen is going to wind up benefiting the U.S. economy. You see what I'm saying? Because we got to have our own manufacturing jobs. We got to have our own high-tech firms. We got to have our own professional firms, you see, because all this shit.
All that's going by the wayside. AI is supposed to be doing all of that.
I know AI is dangerous. And then we're going to be researching AI in the future as well, too. Now, don't get me wrong. It has its benefits, but I think it has more counter benefits than benefits.
We don't know yet, Shabaka. It could be a blessing or a curse.
Yeah, okay. It could be a blessing, right? If you had the right people using it for the right things, but they're going to use it as a curse, is because I notice these damn Democrats is emphasizing all these abortions and what have you, prelude to genocide.
That's exactly what it is. Eugenics.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then, of course, the melanin that they want to get is because in the past, man, what is it now? The melanin is up to $392
No,
per ounce.
That's what it was pre-COVID. It was $450 a gram.
Damn.
Pre-2020.
Damn.
I don't know what it is now. It might be $600 a gram.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised, because they would have, the price go up on them, and just due to inflation. And then old Kamala is up there talking about she's going to lower the price of groceries.
We're about to get on her. We're about to get on her in the Shills.
Yes, sir.
Just want to finish up with the tangibles.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, so continue to mass up the tangible for your vote, Black family, all the way up to 2,100. Don't let up.
Yes, sir.
Keep applying that pressure. Election cycle after election cycle, all the way up to 2,100. We already said this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint.
Not a sprint. Okay.
All right, so moving along, we got
Yes, sir.
my God, Spike Lee.
What did he fuck
Shame
up
on
on?
you, Spike Lee.
What did Spike
Over
Lee
here-
do? What did he fuck
He
up?
over here chilling. He over here chilling for Kamala.
Damn. Shilling for Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, boy, that's bad news.
He's talking about we need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. The brothers such as ourselves that aren't supporting Kamala Harris.
So he says we're drinking Kool-Aid if we don't support Kamala Harris.
Pretty much.
Woo, Lord. Now, how much Kool-Aid has that man had? And keep in mind, I like Spike Lee's work. I love Spike Lee's work. But damn, Spike, you cats need to be talking about some damn microeconomics and some damn macroeconomics for
No, the only thing he's talking about is keeping us on a Democratic plantation.
Oh, man. Keeping us on a Democratic plantation.
That's all he's talking about. So he done sold out.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor.
In Obama. He sold out to Kamala and Sambo. No.
But however, did you check out Michelle Obama's speech today?
In the studio.
I can't. There's no way for me to get in the studio.
You're in the studio right now.
Obviously, but I can't hear it.
Because you're muted.
Well, it's not playing.
What do you mean? I haven't pressed play yet.
Well, you know what I mean, Jesse? I'm always in the studio and it's muted, but I can't hear it.
Mac 285. Spike Lee is a joke, Mac 285.
Hold on.
See what I'm saying?
But the powers that be.
You make it so like this. So.
Yes. Hold on.
And I see the video there on the YouTube. That Spike Lee sells out to Kamala and Obama.
Yeah, so Professor Blacc Truth, they're gonna give us the update on the Shillery from Spike Lee.
And this is the moment of truth.
President honored Lee with the National Medal of Arts for decades of cultural contributions. You can see him there, iconic in the lower left as the people applaud. Lee was also at the summer's DNC, where he proudly repped the New York delegation before an audience of millions. You see him there. A lot of excitement, of course, during the roll call. He has publicly endorsed Kamala Harris for president. He's hit the trail for her in Brooklyn. He is, to use a word that is often used but not always true,
Now, why is y'all got bullshit on like this?
This possibly could be the most important presidential election in the history
He's just letting them know
of this country. That's how dire this is. This is not a joke.
That's what I'm
It's not
saying.
funny.
That man
This is
don't go out there with that clown
life and
shit
death.
on.
So I urge people not versed to vote. Give it the program.
Well, what program?
It's just common sense that you should never trust or take the word of someone who's not in the same boat as you. When he says things like, get with the program, whose program is he talking about?
Exactly.
Certainly not ours. We have nothing to do with it. In fact, we can't get anyone to endorse our program. That's the reason why we're withdrawing from the process.
Right.
But also that phrase, get with the program. Gee, where have we heard that kind of sentiment before?
I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women.
That's the fucking problem,
So
lady.
the lecturing not
I am
only
looking at
continues,
you
but it
saying
kicks
what the
into high
fuck
gear because you got the white media here with Spike Lee. And as I've told you before, please don't kid yourself. These white producers and such, they pre-interview these people before they even bring them on air. They know exactly what they're going to say before they even say it. That's the
goddamn
point of bringing them on.
It's sad but true.
You're right about that, Mac 285.
My brothers have been drinking that Kool-Aid.
No, you're the one that's been drinking that Kool-Aid.
And I just hope that they get their minds straight, get their minds right in time.
You got your mind right, dude.
If they're conscious, if they're aware, there's nothing that this other guy can do.
Y'all out ass motherfucker.
that's going to put
Right here, your TV is on.
Not just black folks, but Americans in a better position going forward. So I urge, and I got to give credit to President Obama because he's been going really hard on the brothers. Some might think too hard, but I don't think so. We got to wake up, and don't go for the okie doke.
Now, did you catch what Spike Lee said? First, he was talking about Trump wasn't going to do anything that benefits black people, and then he switched it to all Americans. Same thing Wendell Pierce did when he was on CNN, talking about Kamala Harris's so-called plan for black men. Well, it's a plan for all of America. Yeah, that's how you know that these DNC shills, they all got their talking points and they're reading from the same sheet of music. Do not demand anything specifically for black people. Stress how Kamala Harris's so-called plan or Trump's threat to the country isn't just against black people. It's about everyone, all Americans, not just black people. And of course, make sure to tell black people that the verbal abuse that you get, well, it's for your own good. Well, in that case, then why don't they do it to everybody? But they don't. Spike Lee praises Barack Obama for finger wagging and lecturing and down talking to black men, even though Spike Lee allegedly is a black man. But he doesn't seem to have a problem with the fact he thinks that's just what the moment calls for. I don't think Spike Lee has been part of, much less run, a political campaign of any sort, especially not something as high stakes as a presidential campaign. So why is it that he's sitting here with a smile on his face, praising Barack Obama for insulting, demeaning, and condescending to black men? He thinks that's exactly what it calls for. Now, here's my question. Would Spike Lee be also co-signing it if Barack Obama was completely white instead of half white? Would he be co-signing it? I'll tell you right now, the answer is yes. You better believe that he would. I also find it perversely amusing that Spike Lee sits there and says if voters are conscious, if they're aware. Man, he was doing everything he could to tiptoe around saying woke. But then again, why would he? His hero, Barack Obama, was the one who started the mess of demonizing that word and pejoratizing it and saying, don't be woke. Can't be no woke stuff. Yeah, so now here's Spike Lee is the guy who had an entire movie, School Days, where basically you had Lawrence Fishburne run around screaming, wake up. And apparently it's Spike Lee's mind and his morals that have been put to sleep. Now, I've been out here posting videos on the internet for over a decade and a half, and in all that time, have you ever heard me praise Spike Lee? No. When I tell you that I don't care for movies or television or the puppets who make this mind rot, Spike Lee is a big example of why. Not him personally, but just in general. This mentality is across the board, even among these Negroes who you think are on the level. After all, he made the movie Malcolm X, right? Yeah. This is the guy who made the movie Malcolm X, but Dr. John Henrik Clarke said that he had been asked to consult on the movie, and he had a low opinion of the film, and he wasn't too impressed by the filmmaker either. That's how the white media operates. They don't give you any of these high-paid, high-position posts unless they know that you're on the team. So what was Spike Lee's medal from Joe Biden really about? Basically, it's a recognition of you've been our little puppet out here, and these dumb Negroes, they actually thought that you were on their side. That's what it was about. You had them fooled, Spike. You had them fooled. But as far as the rest of Spike Lee's comments, such as they are, it was Spike Lee being, well, Spike Lee. Amazing how all it takes is for the president to give him a medal, and he's Captain America, talking about good Americans and such. Also talking about how nothing Trump does is going to make black people's lives any better. It's as if he didn't know that the number of killings committed by the police has spiked, pun intended, after Biden was elected president. And that number is higher than it ever was under Trump. And those killings have only gone up every single year of the Biden-Harris administration. So you see Spike Lee out there proud to be a delegate for the Democrats from New York. Somebody ought to ask Brother Spike, how many black people have been killed by the police on your buddy Kamala Harris's watch? And then ask him to explain, how are things better now on that front? I struggle to find where these alleged improvements have been under the Biden-Harris administration, and apparently Spike Lee struggles with it too, because he wasn't able to actually tell us anything that was better. In fact, none of these mouthpieces can. They all just sit there and say, things are going to be worse under Trump. It's not going to be any better under Trump. Magic Johnson, he's not going to make your lives any better. The question is, has Kamala Harris? No. They can't tell us. Apparently, they don't think so either. Now, this video is what for Spike Lee has tragically become typical. Rambling, barely forming any coherent sentences. But he got a medal from Biden for the arts, and he's out here hobnobbing with Kamala Harris because for black celebrities, it's about building and sustaining their own cult of fame. Being at the right parties, PR stunts, photo ops, that's the world they live in. And their survival isn't based on group economics. They work for white media companies. So their survival is based on self-interest. not group interest. And they try to play that game, at least until the white media inevitably gives them their pink slip. But even if you confront Spike Lee on this stuff, the problem with the bootlick is they've always got some deflection, some dodge, some word salad that they try to use. Now, isn't it interesting, or rather, isn't it typical that over the course of the last week and a half or so, as Barack Obama's little temper tantrum went viral, you've had a number of TV shows that have been talking about this, but only one actually had somebody who took Obama to task and called this stuff what it is. Everybody else, everyone else, especially the black men who the white media's had on camera commenting about this, they've all co-signed what Obama said, and they all echo the idea that black men, they're just weaker. There's something wrong with them if they don't like being insulted. Well, there's something wrong with them. That's what the entire narrative has been. That's how you know that there's a program at work here. This is all about, we're going to try to break these black men down through just insulting them. But of course, the opposite has been happening. Now, remember what I've been telling you about how crucial it is to avoid these white liberals and white leftists who try to call themselves speaking on our issues, because it's absolutely no accident that it was Ari Melber, of course, who MSNBC chose to platform this stuff. I've been warning you about people like him, his ridiculous quoting of rap lyrics and name-dropping hip-hop figures. It's beyond cringe. But his purpose is to be the wannabe hip white guy. He's corny, but he's also down. And using this subterfuge, he interviews compliant bootlicks like Charlemagne the Fraud and others like Spike Lee, who toe the line and repeat the same stale lies. And because it comes from this faux wigger, Melber gets less opposition than someone like him should. I told you a few days ago about how Wendell Pierce was bootlicking to beat the band, praising Kamala's do-nothing so-called plan for black men. He was on CNN with that, but now we see Spike Lee, another Negro in Hollywood, doing the same thing, only he went beyond Wendell Pierce. He went beyond, well, I had some criticism for the president, but he called me and we talked about it and I licked his boots to a mirror shine. He went beyond that. Spike Lee's sitting here saying, no, black men need to be hearing this. This is what's called for. See what happens? This is the very definition of an abusive relationship. And the white media's putting this out there. They would never bring anyone on air to say that Asians need to be rhetorically slapped in the face or talked down to. They definitely wouldn't do that about Jewish voters or about white men. They wouldn't do that at all. But they make it a point to do that about black men. And as we've always told you, they always send in some Negroes to break the ice for them. Whenever it's time for them to begin some major anti-black offensive, they always make sure that there's some black person who's going to be the first one to get set out there. When it came time to attack woke, it was Barack Obama who was leading the charge on that. And now we got Spike Lee showing his true colors. Then again, you don't have to be too smart to figure that out. I mean, he's part of Hollywood. What do you expect? And this is what they're saying. Malcolm, who clearly Spike Lee didn't care much for, he warned us against allowing these celebrities to be presented as spokespeople for you and me, and this is the reason why. It comes down to money. Who's paying them? If they're getting their daily bread from the white media, that means they're on the take. Even the ones who try to talk a good game. As the Bible says, wheresoever a man's fortune is, that's where his heart is too. And we know exactly where Spike Lee's fortune is at. It's in the hands of the good white media and these days, the white political establishment. Tragically, this two-faced cowardice and duplicity isn't limited to the clowns that you see bootlicking for the white media. Time and time again, we keep having the same cast of characters, the usual suspects who tell you and me that we can't do anything that's strictly in our own interest. We have to sit on our hands or otherwise obey the dominant society. The dominant society will never do anything that empowers us because they successfully created a zero-sum game, one that favors only them. They stole our power because they themselves had very little of it. And any change to that equation of a necessity must reduce their power. But then again, if you have a thief who's burgled every home on the block and taken all the residents' belongings, including yours, and put them in his house, he'll brag about how rich he is and about how hard he had to work. Sure, breaking into people's houses every day and stealing everything they have is hard work, but it's not honest work, and that's what makes it wrong. Now, if you've been the victim of a burglary and you find out who the thief is and where your belongings are, obviously you're going to get on that immediately that very second. And if some of your neighbors are also victims of this same thief and they've lost their property to this criminal, you'll have an instant mob, and a righteous one at that. Now, what if some of your neighbors, rather than wanting to produce justice and reclaim what's theirs and punish the criminal, instead they begin giving you reasons why they don't think it'll work? The criminal may try to fight you, they'll say. Or, well, is it that important, they ask, or they don't think it will work. The first thing you may notice is that these cowardly neighbors, they don't work very hard themselves. They've never stood up for themselves, and basically they live their lives defeated. They've never strived for anything, ever. All they serve to do is to try to demoralize you into accepting injustice. When the neighbors get over their fear of this thief and finally band together to punish him and reclaim their stolen property, what would the reaction be if 2 or 3 of the neighbors began screaming, "You can't do that. You're going to mess things up for the rest of us"? This is where the Wendell Pierces and the Spike Lees come from. Now, if this happened, the neighbors telling you you're going to mess things up for the rest of us, you would immediately recognize that these objections are coming from people who are in collusion with the thief. Taking back what's yours and punishing the criminal, that can't mess anything up for anyone who isn't a co-conspirator. The purpose of these neighbors is to dispel and dissipate the energy and force that you've assembled to produce justice. The point of my analogy, I think, is clear. The problem that we face is not just among black bootlicks who are on the take for the white media. We also have the same problem among black society in general. On the one hand, we have sellouts, bootlicking backstabbers who are working with the enemy, who repeat all their lies and tell us that not overthrowing the status quo will somehow lead to a change in our condition. And on the other hand, you have apathetic losers who have never waged a fight a day in their lives. They've resigned themselves to their fate, which is defeat, and they want you to join them. The apathetic coward and the collaborating bootlick both have the same thing in common. They're scared of offending white power. The bootlick is scared of white power because they want to get something from it. And the apathetic coward is scared of white power because they're terrified that they're going to lose what little they think they have. Fear is like cancer. Once it gets a hold of you, it metastasizes and spreads until it ultimately kills the host. But when it comes to fear, this form of cancer is contagious. I told you 4 years ago to stop moving by fear and to move by force. I laid out how it was illegitimate to fear Trump winning re-election because he wasn't doing or going to do anything that Obama hadn't already done and that the Democrats hadn't been allowing to happen all along. What black people fail to understand, too many black folks, is that what's happening here is a continuity of policy. It's no different than when it comes to the U.S. and Israel. Does it matter if you vote Democrat or Republican on Israel? Of course not. Both of the major parties are completely and thoroughly devoted to defending Israel no matter what. And when it comes time to criticize them, neither party will do so. So what does that tell you? They're both on the exact same page. That's continuity of policy. It doesn't matter who's in the White House or who's in control of Congress. The policy on that will never change. Well, the same thing goes for black people. There's complete and thorough continuity of policy. The Democrats and Republicans may differ, even if only rhetorically, when it comes to issues like abortion and immigration and such, but they're doing that because of the extent that it affects their white constituents. But when it comes to black people, both of the major parties are on the exact same page, and you can see by what they actually do. That's the point that I was trying to make 4 years ago, when I tried to appeal to people's logic and intellect. But the truth of the matter is, when people are scared, they stop thinking. And that's why white power works day and night to keep you in a perpetual state of fear and anxiety. And they trot out these bought and paid for bootlicks like Wendell Pierce and Spike Lee to tell you to be afraid. Be very afraid. This is how white power has managed to keep so many black people in line for so many decades without firing a single shot. They carry out or create 2 high-profile examples of individuals who they've harmed, who they've killed or wrecked the lives of. And then they point the finger at you and say, you'll be next if you get out of line. And a lot of black folks just go right along with it. But if you take a look at the uprisings of 2020, you had people taking to the streets and standing up to the white supremacists. Didn't matter if they were in government or not. And did you see the white supremacists slaughtering people in the streets? No, you saw the white supremacists not just back down, but you saw the bastards run away. Now, what does that tell you? The greatest single factor in the fall of white supremacy is not going to come down to the white supremacists themselves. It's going to come down to us and how we move and what we do. And that's the reason why we can't afford to be listening to these bootlicks. Spike Lee's mindless cheerleading for the Democrats would only make sense if Obama, Biden, or Harris actually did anything for us. They haven't. And under these circumstances, what's going on now is absolutely catastrophic. Barack Obama came on the scene saying he wasn't doing anything for black people. Kamala Harris doubled down on that and said, I'm not going to do anything that only benefits black people. And now we have open abuse at the hands, or rather mouth of Obama going on. And you got Spike Lee cheerleading for that. So we've gone from we're not going to do anything for you to you dumb niggers, you're a bunch of sexists if you don't do as we say. And you got Spike Lee co-signing that, openly endorsing, verbally abusing and castigating black voters, which opens the door for everybody non-black to do the exact same thing. The point of the matter is this. How you live your life comes down to footwear. No, I don't mean whether you wear Nike or Reebok. I mean whether you choose to put on combat boots or running shoes. If you're prepared to fight and stand on business, then lace up your boots and get to work. On the other hand, if you've decided to make excuses and lies to make yourself feel better about your own cowardice, then put on your running shoes. But just understand, at some point, the soldier gets to take off his boots when the war is won. The coward who chooses to put on running shoes, they have to keep running forever. And if there's anything we should have learned from the tethers, it's that people who practice running never get to stop. They'll tell themselves lies so they can live with what cowards they've become, but they know the truth. And so does everyone else. When it comes to things like elections, you notice that I don't try to tell you how to vote. What I do instead is I tell you to look at the world as it is and make a decision for yourself. Look at the facts. Don't let me tell you what they are, and definitely don't let Spike Lee do it. But I'm certain that if you actually look at the facts as they are and not let somebody tell you how you should feel, then what's going to happen is you're going to realize that a lot of this stuff that you've been told isn't true. You got people on both sides who are just trying to manipulate you for their own interest. And that being the case, you're supposed to engage your brain whenever it's time to evaluate something, not your feelings. Only a fool is afraid to do that.
Right.
Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Lisa Taylor, Bobby Ross, Frederica Moore, Cynthia Nixon, and Faith Speaks Life. Salute to them, and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. So the hell with you, Spike Lee.
Yeah. And the professor, once again, is speaking truth. You know what I'm saying? Undisputed truth. And only a fucking idiot would argue with undisputed truth.
Right.
And since we are not idiots, you see what I'm saying? The professor is right. I mean, what can be said?
Right. All right, Lady Che, what are your thoughts on this?
Nothing.
All right, well, moving along, we got black women aren't supporting VP Kamala Harris because they don't.
Right. Okay.
Great news.
That's better than when the ponies lose.
No. That's better than when the Gators lose. And y'all it's falling fast.
Yes, sir. Okay, if I just might say, Brother Che, the episode has been...
Would you be interested in collecting 5-figure paychecks for a few hours of work, helping me in your spare time from...
Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, this is a quite shocking clip that we're about to look at, actually coming from MSNBC. They sat down and asked some black people about Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris at that. And black women was responding to her, presidency, or with the potential presidency, that we would say, in this clip. And, the story has been, she has a problem with black men. Well, after you view this clip, you're probably going to have some sort of also think that she got a problem with black women as well. Let's check that out.
What are your feelings? And let me start with the women here about Kamala Harris.
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that. And I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
You brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy. Right. Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president,
that's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes. Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a Black woman, but yet she's locking up Black women and Black men and separating families.
This is the thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, you know, Kamala Harris became Black when it was convenient.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about, do you agree with him on that? Do you feel like she's wearing her Blackness?
Absolutely. She's sworn into when she sworn to the Senate, it was as the first Indian American.
Thank you.
Which is, it's fine. We don't care.
We all know she's not Black. Let's understand that. We are all clear of that. But my point of view, like I told you earlier, she's already been there. She's in office right now.
Now, first of all, the interesting thing about this clip, you know, a lot of those Black women were supporting Trump. That's first and foremost. And you've seen Black women, you know, you've seen look like some millennial, like Gen X Black women that were there. And that is the problem. That is a problem for Vice President Kamala Harris. And the sister toward the end say, no, she ain't Black. See, the cosplaying is not working too well. Right. You understand what I'm saying? She has repeated her story 1,000 times. So we know she did not grow up like us in America. Most Black Americans, if not all of us, don't have an Indian mom. That's the bottom line. Number two, we wasn't raised with Indian culture. We wasn't traveling back and forth to India. She was raised as an East Indian woman. Right. And that, like I said, and that's okay. Just say you're the South Asian. Just say that. And that's okay. I mean, that has nothing to do if she can do the job or not. Has nothing to do with that. Right? But the cosplaying just get on people's nerves. Then, yes, let's bring that up. You think Vladimir Putin gonna play with her, all that cackling and like Putin not gonna play with her? He gonna see her coming. You know what I'm saying? President Xi in China, he gonna see her coming. Kim Jong-un in North Korea, he gonna see it. Like, trust me, they are not gonna take America seriously because they say, oh, that's what they doing? Oh shoot, man, now they really about to try America at that point. I mean, let's just call it what it is on the scale of geopolitical politics. It's not just domestic issues the president got to deal with. They also got to deal with international issues. And who do you want if you're dealing with some real conflict? Do you want Vice President Kamala Harris? I don't. I ain't vote for her either. You know what I'm saying? Right. But this, election is definitely something. They keep saying, "Oh, democracy on the ballot," and they Democrats keep saying that. And I say to Democrats, is democracy on a lease every 4 years? Like, either we got democracy in this country or we don't. We don't. Last time I checked, if something can go on a ballot, we vote for it. See, the Democrats, even by that, issue of Roe v. Wade, it needs to be brought back on a federal. They're letting the states vote on it. And if the states want it, they have it. If the states don't want it, they don't have it. It's just that simple, right? But our issues in America has nothing to do with that. Like, that's what I'm saying. She's tone deaf. She don't have a clue of what's really going on in this country. That's why she's focusing on things that nobody's really even thinking about. People thinking about kitchen table issues, light bill, water bill, gas bill being higher, insurance costs, food costs, gas costs, rent a mortgage. You understand? That's the things that they are focusing on, not all the things that she's been focusing on. And a lot of Black women have said, hey, enough is enough. Black women are tired of paying these high prices too. And they say, hey, no, she's not it. Because if she was it, we wouldn't be in these problems. We wouldn't have this discussion right now. Right. We wouldn't. If she was really about the business, we would not be talking about any of this. Listen, the Democrats messed up royally. They messed up royally. Mm-hmm. Because think about it. I'm going to bring this back up again. When they came into office, the majority of Black people couldn't stand Trump behind. Couldn't stand him. And now you got Black folks want to vote for him? No, the Democrats created that. Yeah. The Democrats created that. By how horrible they done in that White House. By prioritizing everybody else except Black America. Mm-hmm. You really thought that you prioritizing migrants, prioritizing the Asian community with a hate crime bill, and all of that, you thought that was going to just Black people be like, oh, great, let's go ahead and vote for the Democrats again. You're sadly mistaken. And you didn't invest nothing in Black America. That's why you're not going to get nothing out of it. Now, you got some silly Black folks that'll vote for her. It is what it is. But the majority, they say the other ones who waking up, trust me, that silent majority that's coming up in the black community who's not feeling ashamed anymore, because he used to feel ashamed to say these things. Now he's saying it openly, and that's a beautiful thing. Y'all shaming tactics don't work no more, boule. Don't work. None of it works. What do your grandma think? She be thinking, I'm trying to fix these issues and problems in the community. What would they think about you? Vote for a party, don't get nothing. These grandma and grandpa, they did fight for some civil rights. You fighting just to do what? Get nothing? No. My grandparents didn't fight for me to get nothing.
Right.
And they don't expect me to fight for nothing, to just fight for more or nothing. No. Black people got to look at these elections as what you gonna do for me,
right? What
I'm getting out of it. And if I'm not getting nothing out of the deal, well, I'm not gonna go sit up here and go vote for this person so they can benefit all these other groups. No, gone are the days where we're voting for people to benefit off our vote. No, if we don't benefit off our vote, then what's the point of voting for you? It's just that simple. Either you do for black folks or that's it. Now, some people always ask, well, you think Trump gonna do reparations? Biden Harris didn't do it.
Right.
And you give the majority of your vote to them. It's just that simple. Right? It's just that simple. She said she supports a study, which means she supports nothing.
Yeah.
I'd rather you not even go that route with reparations with me, and if you just tell me a doggone study and playing with me.
Right.
Just say, nah, we're not trying to do that right now. But what I can do, I'm gonna try to put some money in your pocket. I'm gonna try to lower your taxes. I'm gonna help you get some jobs.
It's game time, and we're making a Twisted Tea drop. Twisted Tea fans love football.
I'm gonna help your businesses. I'm gonna help you get some loans or grants. I'm gonna help you, on an everyday level. That's at least what I can do right now. Not to say we can't do it later, but right now, this what we got to do. And a lot of black folks are saying, yeah, we need that. We need that. Because even if they pay reparations tomorrow, we still will have problems as black Americans. Reparations is not going to be a cure-all to our problems. I hope y'all know that.
Yeah.
A one-time payment is not going to cure all your problems.
No, we don't want to one.
Yeah, for a short term, it may be cool. But if you're the type of person with horrible spending habits, you'll run through that money like water running through your hand.
And so really it's going to benefit the U.S. economy.
We got to look at the long-term issues of the community and sustaining ourselves and building our economy. A one-time payment, even though it's old, right? Reparations is old, but I'd rather have a strong economy in black America. I'd rather have institutions that's created by black Americans that our economy is sustaining. I'd rather see health centers built in our community, daycare centers, community centers, and sustained by the black economy. We need an economy. They're like these other groups. When they come over here, they focus on what? Their particular economy. And not focusing on everything else.
Yeah.
And Vice President Kamala Harris not even thinking about no economy for black America. She wouldn't really have a plan to fix anything for black Americans. So, yeah, but a lot of black women trust me, I talk to black women offline, okay? And I'm telling you, there's a lot of black women that's not feeling her. They are offended by the cosplaying. They're very offended by that. Some of them feel that she's taking spot from a real freedman, FBA woman who deserved that spot. That's also another thing that a lot of them feeling. And also black women tired of their pocketbook being hurt. They're tired of that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of black women look at Vice President Kamala Harris sometimes as that same kind of female that they elevated up on their job. She worked there for years, hard, faithful, on time, and just threw her in here talking about she's black. And good where that woman ain't black and she don't treat people like that.
Right.
Charlemagne and God told us that God is good, and she know how to respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
When she was in Jamal Bryant's church, she couldn't even clap on beats.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that woman is not black.
Right.
She's not a black American. She's not a freedman. I can't even say she's Jamaican black. Right. I wish I could say she's Jamaican black, but she's not even Jamaican black. Because Jamaicans are very, secure in their blackness. Okay? And a real Jamaican when you see one, and that's not it. See, if she was a real Jamaican, and that'd be a different story. If she had a Jamaican upbringing, maybe we would have a different conversation right now about her. But no, you can't cosplay with this woman. That's Obama 2.0. And we learned our lesson for Obama 2.0.
Right.
Yeah, he may look like a light-skinned black person, and he may, have a walk or talk, but he was raised by the folks, and he think like them too. That's why he didn't do nothing for black folk. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Shout out to the sisters. Yeah, they not putting up with that, and that's good. I like to see that the sisters aren't playing around, putting up with this. This
flourished under Sunni Ali Bear's leadership.
Oh, you should watch this. I sent you this video, Shabaka, before they took my page down. You should definitely watch this video
they
about
fucking with my page too. The untold stories of the great African empires. Yeah, say this is what I was talking about of Sunni Ali, but they misspelled the word. They say Sinai Empire. It's the Songhai Empire, and I wish these goddamn YouTubers.
It's a different
get they
one.
fucking.
They're not talking about the song. They're talking about a different empire.
That Sunni Ali ruled?
No. Under his rule, the song. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, they must have misspelled it. But yeah, on your free time, Shabaka, you should watch this video.
Okay, copy and paste and send me the link, sir.
Already did. I did that in Messenger last week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what are your thoughts on black women aren't supporting VP Kamala Harris?
Okay. Then that really should tell us something. It says because black women are a strong voting bloc and they should be listened to. And if they're not supporting Kamala, then something is extremely wrong.
Yeah.
Extremely wrong.
Brothers, that's what it is. They're getting on code with the brothers. The brothers the sisters is getting on code with the brothers. So the black family is not supporting her.
Okay, so what is happening, Brother Che, I believe this is the beginning. And you remember we have said on past episodes, man, is that the black community needs an implosion. An implosion is the exact opposite of an explosion. And what I'm seeing, sir, is an implosion. And did you by any chance check out Michelle Obama's last speech she did today?
No, I didn't watch this about her.
Check it out. It's because Michelle Obama, you know, had came in, you know, with some hard, cold facts. She did a dynamic job. The orange dude has got to go. We know that. But now it is about building our own infrastructures. It's because
the orange dude is going to win, Shabaka. Already on the wall. The orange dude ain't going nowhere but to the White House. It's
Yeah, I know, Brother Che. I know it is disturbing, you know, because I'm sitting up here.
And the Democrats only have themselves to blame.
Yeah, they do. It's because, you know, they shadow ban, you know, black media like they do us. Jay Dizzle, you see what I'm saying? And our other colleagues.
That's going to ramp up even more if that broad gets in.
It's the key.
Oh, absolutely. So there might be
20,000 pre-installed classic games. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for.
Oh, this is the brother from Chi-Town.
Yeah. So great news. MSNBC host has meltdown after Kamala's disastrous CNN town hall. Did you check out the town hall, Shabaka, that she did on CNN?
Yeah, earlier today, yes, sir, I did. You know, and
not earlier today, it was like 2 days ago.
Okay, no, sir, that one in particular I did not see. Please enlighten me.
All right, he's gonna go over it now, so he's gonna enlighten me.
Joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, moderated by Anderson Cooper. Today, Mika Brzezinski was live on air and had a full-blown meltdown, literally screaming that Donald Trump wants to take the lives of women.
Oh my God.
That this is what he wants to do. He specifically wants to take the lives of women. That's what he's seeking to do. Let's get into this clip right now. Don't believe me. Let me play this for you. This is completely absurd and ridiculous.
As important as Trump's fascism is, and is the lead story every day, his cozying up to dictators, his obsession with Hitler that has now come out, what he has said about our veterans, and what he wants to do with the military against his political adversaries, it's all huge news. This is the future that we're looking at in the next Trump term, if there is one. But this is what voters know right now, that he is killing us. I'm talking about us women. He's killing us. He is putting us at risk. He is making us afraid to have babies. He is putting our reproductive health at risk, and some women have died already because of this.
It's called genocide.
I had to cut this off at least halfway through.
It's called the cap. It's called lies.
How you get on the air and lie like this day in and day out is unbelievable. It's beyond me. She literally got on here and said that women are now afraid to have babies. They're afraid to have babies? Why would they be afraid to have babies when the goal is with abortion to them? That doesn't really make sense, right? You're upset that you can't the babies the way you'd like to, but you're saying that he's making women afraid to have babies. That doesn't make sense. But this is the foolishness that's coming out of MSNBC. When all you have is fear mongering, this is how illogical and nonsensical the things you start to say become. Once again, these people want to babies. That's what they want to do. But she's now saying that Donald Trump is making women afraid to have babies. How? That literally makes no sense. It's fear mongering for fear mongering's sake. But let's let her continue.
So we can see right now what's coming. These headlines, and very good reporting, by the way, that shouldn't be questioned by idiots about what Trump has said about Hitler. That's incredibly important to know. But I do understand that people who are busy and that are people who are just tapping in may not be able to comprehend, because we've been free. We've been comfortable. We cannot comprehend that.
Were we in cages when Donald Trump was in office, the first 4 years of his presidency? Were we not free the first 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency? Apparently not. But we've been freed by the abolitionist party headed by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
And I understand that. I validate that it is hard to go from here to there. It is where we're going. I hope we don't find out the hard way. But what's happening with women right now is real, and it is playing out across America.
There's nothing happening to women across America. There's literally nothing happening to women across America, at least not by Donald Trump. At least not by Donald Trump. Now, as I listen to this foolishness coming out of Mika's mouth, I want to take a moment to pivot to this CNN clip very quickly.
Yes.
Because I do want to kind of build upon what's said here. So let me transition over to this video clip now.
Coming up too, that you don't hear.
Rewind it back just a little bit.
Another thing that keeps coming up too, that you don't hear a lot about in the national media, Dana, is a lot of young men are worried about global conflict because they are of draft age. That comes up over and over and over again in conversations that I've been having over the last few weeks when I've been traveling through all these states on campuses.
That's really interesting.
A lot of men are concerned about global conflict because they are of drafting age. I remember when Kamala Harris went on that Freak Off podcast. I believe it's called Call Her Daddy, which is a play on the saying call me daddy, like a guy would say call me daddy, I guess in the bedroom, but it's Call Her Daddy. Like I said, it's a Freak Off podcast where they discuss threesomes and, you know, things like that, you know, and playing with toys and all this kind of stuff. For some reason, Kamala thought it was a good idea to go on the Freak Off podcast. But while she was on the Freak Off podcast, I'll never forget, the woman asked this silly question. The host asked Kamala this silly question saying, you know, there's legislation on the books that are telling women what they can and can't do with their body. But let me ask you something, Kamala. Is there any legislation on the books that tells men what they can and can't do with their body? Well, yes, there is. Now, to the contrary, there is no legislation that's telling women what they can and can't do with their body. You literally can do whatever you want with your body. Nobody's telling you what you can and can't do. There is no legislation on the books telling you what you can and cannot do with your body unless you just enjoy children. I mean, you know, outside of that, there is no legislation telling you what you can and can't do. But as it pertains to men, yes, there is. Yes, there is. And I don't think any of us that are in the draft age range want Kamala Harris at the head of the White House as president, with her inability to articulate herself and with her quick-tempered manner whenever she's lightly pressed on anything. I don't think any of us want her at the head seat of that table, having any type of conversation with Putin, Xi Jinping, or anybody else. The world is in complete conflict right now. Complete conflict right now. You have what's happening in the Middle East between Israel and Palestine. You have what's going on in Europe right now between Russia and Ukraine. We have China that is growing closer and closer and closer to making its move on Taiwan. And if we don't get someone in office like a Trump, who is respected around the world, contrary to belief, who can make it a point to lower the temperature globally, Kamala Harris triggering World War III means you and I, men of draft age, will be drafted into a U.S. military that is currently understaffed. Many of you may know this already. Some of you may not. But the military is having a hard time recruiting people. So you better believe if World War III gets triggered, guess what legislation is on the books that is going to tell a man what he can and can't do with his body? And that is real. What Mika is talking about is not real. This woman is talking complete foolishness when she speaks and opens her mouth. But what I'm saying, we all know is real. And you have to ask yourself, especially you men out there, do you want to roll the dice with having Kamala Harris in office? And now you're on a plane on your way to Russia or on your way to China to fight a war that could have been stopped, that could have been prevented had the man on your screen right now been voted into office. I don't really think it's worth the gamble, if you ask me. But with all that being said, that does it for today's news. All right? That does it for today's news. Thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram and Rumble. It is extremely important that you do that. Please follow me on Telegram and Rumble at TD Media Group. Both the link to my Telegram and Rumble will be pinned in the description box below and in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. And until next video, peace and have a great afternoon.
Black experience. Enhance on Blog Talk. Make a profile. Follow us.
House of Representatives, Shabaki.
Oh, I'm sorry. State Assembly.
Representative.
Yes, sir. I stand corrected.
All right.
And if you make it, bro, I need a job.
Yeah. So troubles afoot. The Democrats, their propaganda networks are even admitting it. DNC is having to concede. You heard how depressed they sounded.
Yeah, because we're in some dangerous times, brother Chad.
All right, so We get into another bootleg Shabaka, one that you're very familiar with. Bakari sellout.
Oh, man, that cat. Oh, God. Okay. All right. My stomach is ready, man, to deal with this dude. Good God. He's disgusting.
Positive way, and I get they case. You know, all right, yeah, no problem, man. But you talking stupid, and I'm like, nah.
Bakari sellout. Cries.
So if somebody write me, I'll tell people all the time, you do better talking to me nice. Don't talk to me crazy. You can get a lot out of me talking nice, right? So there you go. All right,
Uncle Phil.
Let's get to David Taylor, and then we'll get to crying Bakari.
More than what you've been giving. So if we had 500 people give $10,000, if we have 500 people give $10,000,
oh man, now
we can raise $1 million in one day.
Fuck out of here,
Lord. I also break a stingy spirit because I sense that there's some heavy hitters watching me.
And
tonight.
Lord, and I
there's
pray that you get rid of sellout
200,000,
motherfuckers and pulpit pimps like this bastard.
20,000, they had it saved up. But God, there's a stingy spirit on. There's a spirit of fear.
So you can call me whatever the fuck you want, and I'm calling that motherfucker what he is.
Maybe a little money, $10 here, 20 when you know you have thousands of dollars.
You can call me whatever
Don't be
the
like
fuck
that.
you want.
Come on, tell me what you can give. You have money put away. You have money in accounts that you know you are sitting on. And it's not right that
this
you
nigga's
come
good.
into a ministry like this and get the presence of God and the glory of God. And it's hard for God to get your natural things. You should be willing to give when you have finances. You have finances that you have to give, but you're holding it up. You have it saved. You have it put away somewhere.
Drop $100 grand on this goddamn platform of Frontline
You
Black
have large
News and
amounts that you
Black
have in savings or
Experience,
annuities.
and we'll tell
or you probably
motherfuckers
have
to go see you quid pro pro.
CD and break it, but God is giving it to you.
And you
need
call
to
me
sow
personally,
it tonight.
motherfucker, at 516-418-5996 Tuesday night.
Y'all, some of y'all like, oh, he talking about the app. Like, y'all, look, I'm talking about $9.99 for content, and you know, y'all support us. What we doing? He talking about $10,000. Man, I don't think I could ever ask somebody for $10,000. Now, if a person want to give a one-time donation, if they choose to, then we got a donation link for that, right? That goes directly to us because you do it on YouTube like that. They're gonna take what's it, 25-30%? They take of that. Well, yeah. I say, you know, I'm start putting my one-time donation link because I remember some years ago. Just to laugh about him, they had this sister that, man, I never forgot that. It was 2018. It's a sister out of the UK, Nigerian sister, and she really blessed us, our platform. I already support. I said, okay, well, so she sent me this donation. I said, whoa, hold on. I hit her back and I said, hey, did you make a mistake? Because I don't want to, you know, cash this out and you say, oh, I made a mistake, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, that's what it was. I'm like, are you serious? I was shocked. I say, hey, dude, what do I need to do? Do I need to promote the business? You know, do you want to come on the show and anything you want to do? You know, what's going? You know, I gotta. It threw me off.
We'll let people do that for a $10,000 donation here at Frontline Black News and Shabaka's Black Experience. Hell yeah, you can.
David Taylor's funny, you know, and the preachers. He's not the only one. They're set up here and you know. Run them people pockets, and they give it to him too. They give it to him. That million he talking about, he'll get it. He will get it. So I guess shout out to them. He say,
pulpit pimping motherfucker. Fuck yeah.
I'm all churches out, as Timothy say. Timothy say he can't do these churches. Yeah, but some people still doing it. All right. Let's go ahead and get started.
Put 10 racks on now.
Go ahead and get started with class tonight.
We'll be
definitely get your pens, paper, and let's go ahead and talk about another Democrat shield.
Oh my God.
We love talking about Democrat shields. Or at least y'all like to hear about Democrat shields, right? Bakari Sellers. Bakari Sellers, you know, he's been on CNN a lot. So that's definitely for sure. Bakari Sellers is, you know, part of the boule. He is that little, you know, the elite blacks. On top of that, I hope you early voted, or I hope you did your early voting. Okay, like I told y'all, I voted Monday. I got it over with. Get it done early. The reason why I'm asking y'all to get it done early because I don't think nobody, at least none of the people here, should be showing up on election day and doing it. I think you should do it this week if you are registered to vote. You know, the weekend coming up, maybe you can say, you know what, I'll go on Saturday because I'm off or whatever, knock it out. Sometimes you can. I think you can go on Sunday too. So either Saturday or Sunday. I mean, I say go early Saturday, knock it out and be over with, right? I always say you can't do all this cooking the Democrats and then you're gonna sit up here and not even try to get them out of office. And it can't just be the top. It can't just be the president. It has to be the Senate. It has to be the House too. It has to be all that, because what's the point?
Well, those are more important than the president.
One for another,
right?
And then you leave the party that you can't stand in the House and the Senate blocking everything, right? So you got to make sure you vote on the House, the U.S. House and U.S. Senate, to get them on out of there, or definitely decrease their numbers where they can't affect anything, right? So you say you voted Monday in Chicago. Good. You say you're gonna vote. Kevin say you're gonna vote on Saturday. And you say Van Jones. All right, so let's cue up Bakari Sellers. I want y'all to hear him. Pay attention. Pay attention. Now, I think Bakari is in an airport restaurant, to be honest with you, because it kind of looks like that. But he was doing a live stream, and I want y'all to hear what he was saying. Let's go.
I'm not sure people understand the pain or the suffering that goes along with being black men in this country. I'm not sure people understand what it means to stay strong in the country. I'm not sure people understand what it means to have your back against the wall.
Yeah, we try, you know.
I understand with her because she's still here. Do it my darkest moment. I almost lost my door. When I had to protect my life. When I had to fight for a black woman in the hospital. And so now it's my turn. And I really don't care what you all say about there's another black man crying or this or that at the church. Because every day I'm preparing my heart to make sure that tomorrow's better than yesterday. And so donate, stand up today. Because if we do not change the country we're living in, our daughters, our sons are going to have hell to pay. This is an amazing moment for our country. Let's protect Kamala. Let's be with her like she was there for us. And at the end of the day, we're going to disagree along this road. We're going to disagree about a lot. But let's put all that petty bickering aside.
They always say that when they lose.
MBS. Let's stop with all the silos. Let's stop with this organization versus that organization. This city versus that city. And let's stand up and be black men that change this country. We built this country. We built our
communities. And we haven't been compensated for it.
Now it's time for us to stand up.
Say we built the country and then not mention nothing about reparations because we sell out.
All right. So I'll let y'all hear that. Now that's you know how we do. We're gonna start it over again, and we're gonna stop it in certain places and just have this conversation.
Hey guys, it's Michael back in my garage to show you some of the latest products on econolite.com.
Fuck the commercial.
Now,
Fuck
once
the
again,
commercial.
what black man want to be Bakari Sellers crying on the internet? Crying. He's trying to win the Van Jones Crying Award for the year. He's trying because maybe he think that's the way he can get $100 million from Jeff Bezos or something. So that's where it started back up. Let's see. Here we go. All right, hold on. Wrong one, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Right one. There we go.
I'm not sure people understand the pain or the suffering that goes along with being a black man in this country.
Let me stop right there. Yes, black men are going through a lot of pain and suffering in this country. Black men are the most hated men in America.
Yeah.
No other man in America is hated more than the black man.
Nope.
Most people have a hate, barely like relationship with black men. And that's something that we have to always come to grips with.
Yep.
We see other groups of men just living their lives. We see other groups of men doing the same things that we do, whether it's positive or negative. And yet these other groups of men are rewarded more than we are for positivity, and we are punished more than other groups of men are for our negativity. whether it's, just something negative or criminal or whatever. And that's proven by statistics when it comes to definitely when we do something that's criminal or perceived to be criminal. We get more time, and we get more fines. We get all of that, right? We lose our life a lot more than others at the hands of the race soldiers. It is hard to be a black man in America. You don't get no respect in your community. You don't get no respect outside your community. Then when you get tired of it and blow up on somebody, you're just an angry black man. Oh, look at them black men being violent. But what black man did you see? I'm talking about a big group of black men storming the Capitol on January the 6th. You did not see a big group of black men. They claim we're violent. And yet you did not see no black men storming the Capitol. They claim we're violent. But is black men shooting up schools where children is at? Are they?
Nope.
Are we doing this, brothers? No, we're not doing that. Are some of us doing some criminality in our local communities? Sure, we are. And I definitely don't support that. And you know me, I'm like, grab they behind, throw them in jail, get them out the community. They ain't worth crap in the community. Black men aren't running massage parlors, but men of other groups are running massage parlors and trafficking their women, human trafficking. Black men, if they halfway do it, they go into jail. Look at Puffy. He, they accuse him of doing it with people that was participating in it with him. Now, did he take advantage of some people? Sure he did, but there was a whole lot of people that was with him. And look where he at. You got people that got massage parlors right here in Houston. Asian men got them, running them, right?
Yep.
And they not getting jailed on trafficking charges. That's the ultimate human trafficking. You know what I'm saying? So as a black man, you got to literally sit here and watch all these other groups of men do wrong things, and they don't even get shot 17 times. I get it. Oh, I get it. On top of that, the administration that he loves so much, the Democrats, we're watching while black men are homeless in the street, we're watching them give billions of dollars of taxpayer funds to men of other groups that came in here because they chose to. They wasn't brought here in the bottom of ships. They wasn't on the plantation for 250 years.
You're a black racist guy when you talk
They're not
facts
still
like
fighting for their
this.
rights today. No, these men left their whole country to come up here on their own to game the system. Talking about they want a better life. Black men had to make a better life right here in the United States of America in the midst of the worst terrorism that any human being had to deal with, even till this day.
Facts.
Then when black men talk about this, you're gaslit.
Yep.
All the time.
Tell me about it.
Bakari. I
Tell us
understand.
about it. Fuck Bakari Sellers.
As a black man. Look at me. Let's talk about me. I'm a black man. You know how frustrating it is that for what I do, if I was a white man, I would be.
We trying to. Shit, we digging our pockets of what we do, and we out of money. Who the fuck gonna donate to us?
You know how frustrating that is? If I was a white person doing exactly what I'm doing now with just everybody is just white that's on my team. Let's say everybody was white. I will be 10 times further ahead. You know how frustrating that is as a black man? And that happens to black men and black women too, but we're talking about black men right now. So Bakari, I get it, bro. I get it. It's very, very hard. But unfortunately, we gotta go through it, find ways around it, flip the game, do our thing, pimp the game, do whatever we would have to do.
African American
as black men.
Well, that's
and we
James
have been
Baldwin,
doing that
brother Jay. He said that about 19.
And we understand as black men crying.
I think he said that in the early 70s.
Yeah. But we do that in our bedroom somewhere. We don't show that to the world. We break as humans at times, but we gather ourselves up when we get back out there. Now let's continue, Bakari. Well, hold on. Before I continue, hold on. Papanaya Shelley says, I can't stand these, he say, Negroes, Phil. He said, I'm sorry, but we need to leave them behind. Actually, it makes me mad seeing the weakness far past embarrassed. Okay.
I'm not sure people understand what it means to stay strong in the country. I'm not sure people understand what it means to have your back against the wall. to stand with her because she's stupid. Do it like this one. I almost lost my door. But I had to protect my wife. But I had to fight for a white woman in the hospital. And so now it's my turn. And I really don't care what you all say about there's another black man crying or this and that at the church.
You care. Oh, yeah, you care. Because you addressed it. I
Right.
don't care what y'all say, another black man crying, because it looks bad, sir. Do you see a bunch of white men crying on TV? Show me the white version of Van Jones. Where he at? You don't even see a white LGBT man crying on TV.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They didn't cry on TV when Trump got elected.
Right.
They weren't crying on TV when Bush got elected.
Right.
They didn't cry on TV. We talking about white men when Clinton got elected, or Ronald Reagan,
Right.
or whatever else.
Or Tricky.
Yeah.
Y'all new age black males with all this crying. See, I don't like that sensitivity stuff, man. I don't like it. I'm the old school. No. Listen, I got my times, and I listen. I'm human too. But when you are a man and you're presenting yourself before the world, even if you're feeling weak, you still got to stand strong.
That's right.
There are moments that you feel depressed as a man, but yet you still got to stand strong. Now, you may have to, escape. Maybe you may have to, take some vacation, therapy, whatever you may have to do, right? That's private to you, but the world don't need to see your weaknesses.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
Because if you let your enemy see your weaknesses like that, or something got to you to the point that you're crying, then the enemy is going to pounce on you.
Yep.
So they see your weakness. You don't let the enemy know, like a military. The one thing a military will not do is let the enemy know their weaknesses.
Right.
The art of war.
Matter of fact, the weak points is what they're going to be stronger at, because they don't want the enemy to get them to win the war.
Art of war. Sun Tzu.
But yeah, we have these weak worm of the dust beta males that's running around here, and this is who the Democrat Party prop up. This is why a lot of black men are walking away from that. Who wants to be Bakari Sellers?
Not me.
Right. Or Van Jones.
Who wants to be that?
But it's crying ass too.
Listen, what y'all seeing is y'all claiming is toxic masculinity and all this other stuff. That's the problem. That party and people that follow that party hate men.
Yep.
And let me refer to what men I'm talking about. Straight lace alpha men.
Yep.
Men that believe in the traditional family. Men that want to have a wife, some children. Men that want to protect the community. Men that want to bring the community back together, want to bring back the family reunions, right? That's why when we go to different cities that's coming up, I want it to be like a family reunion atmosphere. I'm not trying to do it all high and mighty or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be that family reunion atmosphere where the kids could come and enjoy themselves, have some great food, some barbecue or whatever we need to do to get involved with it, where everybody can just have some fun and get together, right? Just like a family reunion, because we don't have that anymore. It hit me like we don't have a family reunion atmosphere anymore.
No, we don't.
We so busy on these doggone phones that we can't even talk to each other.
Yep.
So when we come to these cities and do our events, we want to make sure to bring that atmosphere. But Bakari up here crying. Crying. Listen, of course you need to protect your wife. That's your obligation. Of course you need to protect your daughter. That's your obligation. That's who you've been in charge of.
Right.
Same thing with
But Kamala?
Yeah, no.
The question I have about that, because Van Jones said the same thing. We got to protect her. Newsflash.
No, we don't.
Where's her husband, Doug? Why y'all got to protect her but her husband don't?
Yeah.
That part.
We not on the plantation no more. We ain't got to protect Miss Ann.
Right, that's right.
For Massa. It's not what we have to do anymore. Massa can protect his own. His own woman. Now, Cynthia says here, Brother Phil talks to them, but it's Van, Bakari, and Jason. They said, Mr. Scott, thank you for speaking up and standing strong with our black men. Well, you know, we listen, a lot of us who feel like the way I feel, there's a lot of brothers out there, but a lot of times we aren't seen, we aren't heard, and we're pushed to the back.
Yep.
And what they want is the sassy and the buck broken being up front.
Right.
And the reason why the folks want the sassy and buck broken being up front is because they always got a steady drumbeat of the demonization of black men.
Yep.
Because they want you to think that all black men are sassy and buck broken. That's what they want you to think. They do not like black men who are headstrong, black men that got a vision, black men that's trying to do the right thing. They don't want us to show you those black men. They want you to think that those kind of black men are unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
And when they notice, even though they have the LGBT and the sassy and buck broken in the white community, notice they don't really put them in the forefront.
Yeah.
Like that in their community. And it's way more LGBT white men than it is black men.
Yeah, go to San
They don't put
Francisco.
them in the forefront of anything. They want to put the alpha male in their community up front to be the image of white men. Y'all have to understand, image is everything. And they understand that. I understand that. Image is everything.
That's what John Hendrick Hart
This is
said.
why they want to promote the Sexy Reds. They'll put millions of dollars behind Sexy Red and her image. And I'm using her because she's popular. They don't want to put millions of dollars behind a woman that have herself together. She's just as talented and she fly and she keep her clothes on and she's respectful and she's extremely talented artist. They don't want to promote that because they want the image of black American women to be ghetto trash. And unfortunately, some of our sisters don't get that message. We have sisters, some of them, hello Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, you major cities. Y'all, some of y'all got professional jobs. Some of y'all are doctors, lawyers, nurses. Some of y'all are got positions in city council. And yet on the weekend, you want to get dressed just like Sexy Red and be just like her. And that's always throw my mind off when I see that. Usually when you got professional brothers, they're not trying to get dressed like the local drug dealer.
Right.
They're not trying to do that or hang out with him, right? I never understood that concept. But that image they keep promoting and putting the Sexy Reds at the front and putting all the different ones out there, just being some hot ghetto mess, that's done by design.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So they always want to, so it went from black men are quote unquote thugs, gangbangers, drug dealers. Notice they don't really push that image anymore about black men. I want y'all to notice that. That's not the image. Now they took it from drug dealer, thug, gang member, gangbanger, so now you're sassy and buck broken. That's the image that they want to promote. You understand?
And homosexualized.
Yeah, you're right, Damon. Women like Lauryn Hill from back in the day, they don't want to promote that. But it's not on them to promote.
Feminized.
But you have to understand, they're always waging a propaganda war against our image. Because you got to think about it. If they can keep our image sullied, if they can make people think the men are sassy and buck broken, and the women are just some tattooed up hot ghetto mess with some venereal diseases and 304s and all of that, then people will not pay attention, to the rest of us, right? That's why we have to attack those images and attack that so-called representation and say, hey, Sexy Red, okay, she's an entertainer. She don't represent us, and we're going to keep her in the entertainer's position. That's why we got to go at these celebrities when they step into anything political. Like, oh, you talking to us about voting. No, you're not either. No, because you elevating them to something serious. And that's the one thing. Notice Kamala Harris isn't bringing out the white celebrities. Notice she ain't bringing them out. She wants the white vote, but where's Taylor Swift? Why she ain't brought out Taylor Swift to a bunch of her rallies? She's very popular with white people. Where's she at? Now I seen Eminem, show up with Obama. I know nobody cares about what Eminem thinks.
Right.
He getting paid to be there. That's number one. Number two, Eminem, he's been around a lot of black folks, so that's probably why they brought him out. That's probably the only white person they'll bring out. Understand? But when it comes to Hispanic community, they're not bringing out Jennifer Lopez and anybody else. Talking about y'all got to get out there and vote for Kamala. They don't even bring out celebrities. So we doing a good thing right now by going at these celebrities and say, hey, stay in your place. You go sing, you go dance, you go act. We love you. You doing that? We'll do your comedy. We love you. We're gonna support you. But stay out of this because you're not serious. And that's the thing. You're just not serious. And when you're not serious, you're just getting a check. It shows, and it needs to be a consequence in your career when you do that. So the next one will be like, nah, I'm cool. I ain't getting involved with that mess. I am good. I don't want nothing to do with it because I'm not messing my bag up. Which I don't want none of you entertainers to mess up your bag. Keep doing you. Leave the politics alone.
Put on the whole time. This one clip.
Okay, now see, Cynthia. Okay, Cynthia. Now you going there. Cynthia, look. When it comes to Sexy Red is good for the gym. Sexy Red, I guess you want to go out. Some of the music, I'm going to say the producers make her sound good. Let's call it what it is. Sexy Red is not the best rapper. No. There's a lot of female rappers that's out, like, for instance, Glorilla. Glorilla be rapping. She do. I like Glorilla. Right? You can clearly hear a difference with Glorilla and Sexy Red in the way I'm talking about the music. I'm not talking. Image Sexy Red promotes. It's just the image, and I'm a man telling you that I don't like that. That's like not a good look. It's just not. But teach his own. Eminem, you say he's done some good for things for Flint. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about him staying away from the politics. He can do great things in communities. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just saying don't let these people sully your name, because really what they're doing is they're trying to attach to their celebrity and hopefully get people to vote. But really, that to me takes away from what they're doing. The last thing I want to do if I'm an entertainer is involve myself in any politics, right? Unless that's what I've been doing. And if anything, if I'm gonna involve myself with something, I'm gonna do something in my community locally. I'm not gonna get involved with these politics. Let's take.
Because every day I'm working my hardest to make sure that tomorrow's better than yesterday. And so donate, stand up today. Because if we do not change the country we're living in, our daughters, our sons are going to have hell to pay. This is an amazing moment for our country. Let's protect Kamala. Let's be with her like she was there for us. And at the end of the day, we're going to disagree along this road. We're going to disagree about a lot. But let's put all that heavy bickering aside. Let's just stop with all the petty BS. Let's stop with all the silos. Let's stop with this organization versus that organization, or this city versus that city. And let's stand up and be the black men that changed this country. We built this country. We built our communities. And now it's time for us to stand up again. So I'm rocking with Kamala. I love all of you all.
All right, but this she says she been there for us. When has she? Maybe I missed out, and y'all know better than me. When has she been there for us, Vice President Kamala?
She ain't never been for us. Look at her record in California.
What has she done for the black community?
Nothing.
What has she done?
Not lock us up.
Did she let people out of jail? Like what did she do? I'm trying to figure that out. Y'all know what she done for the black community?
No.
Because if she done something for the black community, I think I'd have been talking about that by now. I would have. What did she do? This woman was only there for herself. Like right now, she's there for herself. And y'all, I just heard something. I got to look more into it. That Kamala Harris was very vicious and nasty to her Latina campaign director. They said that she had chewed this woman out for 30 minutes straight. That's not the first time I heard she was kind of vicious with her staff. I heard that before. And they say they had the Latina woman crying because she said that if she lose the election, it's gonna be the Latina woman's fault. No, it's not gonna be that woman's fault. It's gonna be your fault, ma'am. Because when people work with you, whether they managers, advisors, consultants, they tell you what they think. It's still your choice at the end of the day. For example, Kellen has told me a whole lot of things. Some things I end up doing, some things, Kellen, all right, nah. Or maybe come back later and say, yeah, Kellen, I see you talking about, yeah, let's go and implement that. It's still my choice at the end of the day. Kellen doesn't force me to do anything. That the lady, this the deal. So Kamala Harris did not go to the Al Smith dinner like with Catholic people, right? She didn't go, and a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of Catholics didn't like that at all. That she didn't go to that dinner. Everybody normally go, but she did not go. She sent a pre-recorded message. Well, let's talk about that. So her campaign director, let me get the lady's name. So I don't want to just say she's a Latina. Let me get her name. Hold on, give me a second. So I call the lady's name outright. Let's see. Chino campaign. Hold on. Give me a second. Y'all know her name. Pull her up. What's her name? What's her name? Y'all know that lady's name? What was that lady's name? Just give me a second. You'll find out her name. If y'all know, just tell me.
You about to pull up this lady's name. That's what we're waiting on.
What?
What do you mean for what?
God, I want to know that lady's name. I've seen her picture, but I can't.
You don't have to participate.
Wait for the next subject.
Where's that lady? I'm about to find her later. If y'all know, y'all can tell. Okay, Julie. Oh, thank you, Julie. Let me pull her up. Julie Chavez Rodriguez. Let me pull her up. Thank you.
Chavez Rodriguez.
Julie Chavez. Let me see Chavez. Let me see. There she go. Okay, that's her right there. All right. Let me see if I can get the lady's picture so y'all can see this lady. Just give me a second. Hold on. Thank you. There we go. Miss Rodriguez right here. All right. So we get pull this up. Go back to Google. Maybe it'll be a little better. All right. That's Miss Rodriguez right there, and everything. So this lady right here was working with Biden. And then now she went over there to work with Kamala. Well, the story goes that she told, and listen to this, I see why the lady told her not to go. She said that, well, I don't think you should go to that Al Smith dinner because you may offend people in the LGBT community and those who support abortion. Now, the lady told her actually something that she pushed. She's constantly pushing abortion. She's constantly pushing LGBT. So if that's your messaging and you're really hardcore about that, then Miss Rodriguez here didn't tell her anything wrong because that's what she's pushing, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So now you're getting backlash. You're getting the backlash right now, but because of this, you're getting the backlash. And then now they say is out there saying that, oh well, if I lose the election, it's gonna be your fault. No, Kamala, if you lose the election, it's gonna be your fault, ma'am. Exactly. It's gonna be your fault. When you first got in, even though nobody liked how you got in, when you first got in, you was acting like Little Miss Princess. You ain't gonna talk to nobody. You're not gonna talk to the media. You're not gonna do nothing. You're not going to address any issues. You played the Obama I ascended race thing. you playing that card, right? And I don't know if y'all saw on the Emancipation Media channel. Make sure I go to my Emancipation Media channel. I did 2 news stories today. The one about the HIV lady I did today too, but I did one on Kamala's aunt, Sarala Gopalan, Dr. Sarala Gopalan, and how she's not even being supportive of her niece's campaign. She's not waving a fanfare, nothing about that. So y'all check that out on the Emancipation Media channel. Please subscribe to that channel. We got more and more content coming definitely there.
Yeah, I'm subscribed.
But Kamala's going to blame this lady. No, it's you and the Democrats. You and the Democrats. If you lose. The more and more she talk on interviews, the more and more people are like, huh? What did she say? And then now the mainstream media is starting to press her even a little more. Because I don't know if y'all seen the Hallie Jackson interview. Boy, you thought that she was on Fox News for a minute. I mean, she would let her do all that word salad. Like, no. Let me ask a question. She just kept on hitting her on questions about, I think she asked her, you know, if Trump would get convicted, you the president, would you pardon him? I'm not going to answer no hypotheticals like that. You know, like she was getting mad that she was asking her certain questions. Like, I don't know if y'all saw the NBC interview. You say Kamala Harris thinks, to say, we're so shallow as to never think critically. You say always about shucking and jiving. You say F out of here, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, or the pics of how you fail your way to the top. Oh yeah. That's them, ladies and gentlemen. Fail your way all the way up to the top. But you have to understand, like, what qualifications do she really have, right? It's like, did she run any kind of successful businesses? Like, yeah, you was a prosecutor and all that, but you really didn't, you know, think about even how she got the U.S. Senate seat. When she was a prosecutor and everything, she didn't prosecute Mnuchin, which he was with the bank at the time, and he actually was in the Trump administration too, but she was supposed to put him in jail. Didn't put that man in jail, but she ended up getting to run unopposed in the U.S. Senate. How that happens? Most times you have at least one Republican challenger, but you run unopposed. And something else came out today. They were saying that the LA Times is not endorsing Kamala Harris. And now think about that. That's pretty big. Now they had endorsed Barack Obama. They had endorsed Hillary Clinton. They endorsed Joe Biden. But they would not endorse Kamala Harris. So why the LA Times take that kind of stand? What do the LA Times know about her? They just don't want to say anything about. Like, look, so when you're sitting up here blaming Miss Rodriguez and say that if I lose the election, it's your fault, like that is some messed up stuff to put on that lady. I mean, you had a war chest way bigger than Trump's. You squandered all that money being silly. You did not actually talk to the real people. See, Kamala, if you were smart, if you were, and it's clearly, you know, listen to Obama and all that, it's not going to work. Or Obama's outdated, okay? Obama don't understand this landscape. When Obama was running and all of that, that was the time of the gatekeepers still. This is not the time of the gatekeepers no more.
Right.
So what Kamala was supposed to do, if you're going to try to sister girl her up, this is what I would have told Kamala. Kamala, look, this is the first thing you got to do. You got to go talk to the black people first.
I can hear you doing.
You got to go holler at black people first. Before you go talk to any other, and I'm not talking about the boule, I'm talking you need to go sit down and interview with black platforms immediately and sure up your black votes.
Hell, she could interview with us.
No chance to win.
Yeah.
You don't win the election without the black vote. That was the first thing I would have done if I was her. And I would have listened to everything. And when I put my policy together, I would put a policy together for, you know, definitely black Americans. I would have used the Friedman language in there to do it, so Edward Bloom can't come along. And, you know, I mean, since she already believes in lawfare, you know,
Uncle Phil, what are you going to do for diasporic Africans?
I got stuff going, right?
He already done one for diasporic Africans.
But she should have assured herself
the
up first.
African Diaspora News Network.
Not play stupid stereotypes, not play.
I stand corrected.
Gender divides, not play the sorority boule thing. No, you should have came to the heart of the black community. Yeah, you say she's Cesar Chavez's granddaughter. Yeah. And okay, you treat that lady
Black
like that
Panther
and
supporter
make her
says
mad or whatever,
Chavez.
she could tank you even worse with the Latinos.
Yeah.
Even the Latinos not supporting her like that either. They're not. But anyway, you're supposed to come sure yourself up with the black community first. That's what you were supposed to do, and you didn't do that because you thought that was a shoe-in to get black people. You're supposed to go talk to black men, holler at them, see what black men's needs are. Make sure you put some policies together that can address black men and their issues and problems. Then once you shore up your base, then you go out and start trying to get all these others. But you didn't do that. You didn't. The first thing you went out doing and talking about is what? Abortion. Abortion is not going to. There's not enough people in here that's just running talking about getting abortion. A man is not getting one. So that's like that's a messed up strategy. Then after that, you start talking about what? LGBT. The LGBT community is not a large community, believe it or not. They're not in this country.
Well, that's great news.
So you should have shored up your base first, and you didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to come to black folk with 2 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
You say, feel the super chats are used to showcase to others that we really support the channel. Hey, let me tell you something about super chat. I'll take whatever somebody bless me with. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying not to. That's not because if I didn't want you to do it, I'll turn it because you can turn the feature off. Okay, I can.
It's not fair because he's just talking, answering questions, and all right. What are your thoughts on the boy Bakari sellout? Selling out and selling
okay. Well, I knew he was a sellout all along, and this here man is just bringing it to the light. I knew Bakari was a sellout, Van Jones sellout, Roly Poly Martin sellout. Dr. Claude Anderson told us about.
What are your thoughts specifically on him saying that we need to back and support Kamala Harris for president?
He's on dope.
Great answer.
He's fucked up in the head.
Yeah, so you know he was a sellout.
No, really he is. Yeah. See, that's the problem. As you had pointed out, Brother Che, when we did a story a couple of years ago about the buck breaking syndrome, and this here's a long-term effect of it. Same damn thing with Van Jones up there crying when Trump got elected.
That was sad. And when Biden was cooled out.
Oh yeah. I love this man talking about Joe Biden, and the motherfucker's the one that passed the legislation to increase mass incarceration for black folks. But you love the mother. So that there ain't nothing but that house nigga ass scratching, loving master syndrome. Boss
my goddamn auntie. This ain't my mama. This ain't my sister. This ain't none of my family.
Wow. This is sad news indeed.
Keep that bullshit to yourself. We're not rocking with it at all.
I can't do it. As a matter of moral consciousness, I cannot do it. And for the rest of my days, Brother Che, as long as I'm able to, okay, and I'm going to keep dropping that message. I'm going to keep dropping that message because it is essential for elders to pass down the harsh, cold truths that we live through to the next generations so the same fucking mistake won't be committed. Yeah, it's because they're trying to exterminate, effeminize, incarcerate, kill directly, rather indirectly, from the policy forces, you know, to the foods, to the miseducation systems, to the prison system. I mean, man, look at all these factors on a 180-degree spectrum that we as black men got to go up against.
Yeah, against all of us.
Yeah, but nobody thinks that important.
No, but they only
all we got
on this election season. All right, well, moving along, Shabaka, because we got more Shillery.
What about me?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you want to participate or not. Lady Che, what are your thoughts on Bakari sellout, crying, and saying black man needs to back Kamala?
Oh, it's sad shit.
Oh, he said we need to protect Kamala.
What?
Bakari sellouts.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? That's the topic.
What do you think?
Oh my God.
Well, you're laughing like, you know.
He said that we need to protect her.
What?
He didn't say for what.
From what?
He didn't say from what.
From.
He didn't say from what.
Oh, that is stupid. You should have your own question. Look, it's like this. What do we think about it? Well, you got to protect her from what? Herself? She's been living in herself for like forever, right?
60 years.
I don't think we have to protect her from anything. The TV, no, she's gonna still be out there. Protect her. We should be protecting her. We should be another job. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, moving along. Dr. Jamal Bryant admits the Black church lost its cultural relevance in Black America. Well, it's a shame it took you 20 years to realize that.
You late?
It's been getting late.
Well, shut up.
Okay.
Well, the Black church, man, is, I hate to say, okay, because I have a lot of church-going members in my family.
Okay? Yeah, me too.
Okay, you have to understand one time, I think Dr. Umar had mentioned this, is that the Black church during slavery and the rise of the Ku Klux Klan and the post-slavery effort, all the way up to the Civil Rights Movement, the Black church was pretty much like our town
Now
hall.
that's a Shaq tactic for DraftKings.
Okay, Shaq, fuck you and your commercial, motherfucker. Give me some of that 750 million you got, man. Fuck you, Shaq. But I did love it when you played for the Lakers, though.
He's a Laker, exactly. How can you say that and you're a Laker fan? That's just something. That's like saying.
No, I'm giving him his respect as a Laker.
But outside
Jersey
of that,
retired.
The hell with
the
him.
jerseys 32, 33, and 34 are all retired.
Okay. So we got Dr. Jamal Bryant admits the Black church is no longer relevant in Black America. He asked, remember Stacey Abrams? He asked Stacey Abrams for advice on how to gain relevancy for the Black church.
Yeah. And they did
Stacey Abrams, ladies and gentlemen. Jamal Bryant, you know, he's been out here stomping for Vice President Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris, whatever, you know. And he was up here saying Black men was misogynist and sexist and all of that about Black men. Well, old Jamal here had to admit something in a recent interview with Stacey Abrams, of all people. I want you to listen what he had to admit. And this also started with Black men as well. Let's go ahead and check that out.
The Black church is no longer the cultural influence that it once was in days gone by for the election for younger Black people.
Right, because you got too much pulpit pimping.
Or think that the Black church needs to do to level that?
So we begin with where things started to fall apart. We have a generation that has access to more information instantaneously than any generation that's preceded it.
Yes.
We also have a generation that has faced more trauma, turmoil, and constant threat than previous generations, let's say post-Reconstruction, because you can never do a comparative to slavery. But in this moment, these are young people who not only know what's happening, they know what's happening for everyone else.
See, he asked the wrong person that question. See, he should have had me on it. And if he would have said the same thing to me, you know, I noticed the church, you know, isn't culturally relevant with the younger people, especially in this election. Like, what do we need to do? What happened? What we need to do to regain that? Well, you got to talk about what happened. First and foremost,
halfway through the show,
Jamal and many others, like, what happened with the Black church? Well, we got to go back in time just a little bit, right? Let's go back in time to the civil rights movement when the church was at its strongest.
Dr. Jamal
when
Bryant.
we had strong, viable families, and those strong, viable families was going to the church. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
And after the civil rights movement, the white supremacists say we got to break up that black family, and they did it in multiple ways. One, there was a woman by the name of Margaret Sanger.
Yep.
She is the mother of Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger has been on record of saying that black people are too numerous. They're numerous like weeds. Most people don't want weeds in their yard. Okay. This woman wanted to bring in abortion to the black community, but she couldn't do that on her own because the community would see her coming. So she went to the black preachers in Harlem, New York, and she brought that to them and got a preacher and preachers to agree to promote this to the women in their church, and they end up getting black nurses and doctors and all the rest is history about how that came into the black community.
What's up,
Remember,
Win Lose? How you be? How you be? How you be?
Was the one that brought that to the black community. If the black church would have been standing on thus saith the Lord and been righteous and would have shouted her down like the demon she was, we would have never had this conversation. So you got to take that all the way back to the black church. Okay? That's number one. Number two, when you accepted the 501c3 and say these churches can be tax-free, but you can't engage in certain political things. See, that's how they took the church out of engaging in social justice for the black community. See, the church was front and center with Dr. King.
Fuck the commercial. Fuck the commercial. Fuck the commercial.
And even the churches out there with Malcolm X too. The Nation of Islam and the black church, they was all together. Religious institutions. So white supremacists say, okay, we'll make them tax free, but we can't have Reverend so-and-so out there no more on the front lines. You feel me?
Right.
Because we'll threaten them and say, hey,
they
we'll
did
take
that
that
to
away.
the X-Man.
That you engaging in political agitation and things like that, right? On top of that, now you took the black church out. So when the black church saw the attack on the black family, the black church didn't raise alarm. The black church didn't scream about it, yell, demand, say, no, you're not breaking up the black family. You're not doing it. The black church took away the sting of shame in the black community. Because let me tell you something, shame has its perfect work. Shame has its perfect work. I have been in countries where shame still has its perfect work, and those countries don't have the problems of the United States of America. Do you know why the United States of America have all kind of perversion? It's because shame was taken out of here. That's what it is. Shame. At one point in time, you could say, hey, young lady, you gonna put some clothes on. You're not gonna be in public like that.
Right.
Hey, young man, pick your pants up, boy.
Right.
And then get a belt on. You ain't walking around here like that. What's wrong with you?
Right.
At one point in time, that had its perfect work.
Right.
You understand? But they took all that mess away and said you have this wicked woman talking about freedom. If God really wanted you to have this immense freedom, why did he say that the gateway basically to hell is the wide path? Why did he say that the gateway to heaven is the narrow path? Why did he say that? The narrow path has discipline. The narrow path has righteousness. It's not just wide path. You can do anything you want. Oh, no restraints. Do it thou wilt. That's what that freedom crap is. You understand? Y'all run around here freedom to do what? What is it she's going to give you that you can't do right now?
Right.
But let's continue. So the black church didn't scream about the black family. Didn't do nothing to save it. The black church don't say nothing about all these illegitimate children in our community. You got single mothers sitting there having baby after baby and still coming to church and you won't say nothing. You got young men out here making baby after baby, you don't say nothing. People living all kind of lifestyles, and I got to be careful on this platform how I say it. You don't say nothing. You know what the words say, but you don't say nothing. You go along to get along because you are a lover of money and not a lover of God. You understand? You cannot serve two masters. You're going to love one or hate the other. You're going to serve one and despise the other. And the black church, we talking about the collective of you love money and you don't love God. You serve money and you despise God. Bottom line. Period. Many of you are pimps. Many of you are thieves. And people see it.
So good. Right.
On top of that, many of you in the churches, you are perverts.
Oh my God.
You have immense perversion, which is against the law. You're sleeping with this woman, that woman, and this woman, and that man too. In the church. Some of you are power bottoms.
Oh my God.
Allegedly, like TDJ.
Oh my God.
Some of you at the Diddy parties, but you're supposed to be a man of the Lord.
Right. Speak.
Why would anybody want to go to a church when they preacher is being alleged to be a power bottom? That's not what your preacher supposed to even be accused of.
Damn.
Go to altacademy.com. Follow the step-by-step curriculum. Do coding exercises online.
Fuck the commercial. Fuck that bullshit.
Sense? Why would you want to go to any church where your pastor is in the same nightclub you in?
Oh, hell.
Your pastor is drinking what you drinking.
Right.
Your
Smoking
pastor getting
dope,
high too.
Using drugs. Fucking your
pastor
wife.
Cussing everybody out
and
too.
your
Just like
teenage
you.
daughter.
And many people have seen that with many of y'all in the black church. They've seen
Yeah.
it. And so black men, the leaders that they are, have said, wait a minute, bro. This is a bunch of bull, man.
Right.
This is not a place where God is at.
Yeah. Gino.
This is a den of thieves. This is a den of iniquity. We walking away from that.
I don't know who Gino is.
And black men walked out of that church as a collective. Not to say they heathens. Not to say they hate God. No. Because of the sacrifice of Christ, you can come to God anywhere at any time. You can talk to God anywhere at any time. You understand? So black men left that church because they seen the BS that's going on in there. You are nothing but a place for the Democrats. That's a stomping ground for the Democrats.
Yep.
Black men are turned off, and a lot of black people are turned off about that. Yep. We're living in a day and time that you preachers and you celebrities stay in your lane.
Yep.
Because the moment you jump in this political sphere, and we know that's not what you're doing, you being a paid shill, it's never going to end well for you because the community is going to snap back at you and turn against you for doing that. You understand? On top of that, so many of you preachers are sassy and bug broken. On top of that, then a lot of you are in a boule. Jamal Bryan is one of them.
Yep.
He's in the boule. You can't be in a boule and be in God's kingdom. That's not how that works.
Right.
Either you be in God's kingdom or you be in a boule. You can't be both. People see that, bruh. Then you got your nerve to get on TV and talk down to black men instead of sending a word of exhortation to black men. If you want to tell black men anything, help black men.
Right.
Our hope and faith and trust is supposed to be in the Lord. Not no woman that we don't know nothing about. A woman that's cosplaying, a woman that's literally pushing things that's against the Lord and using it as her platform. And you gonna sit up here and ask why the black you don't have no influence no more? You brought Kamala Harris in your church and you know what she promotes, Jamal Bryant.
Right.
That is against the Lord completely. It is no scripture in there that when that woman sits up here and promotes the most, that's okay with God. No. And you stroll that woman right in there, you are worse than she is. In my opinion, you're worse. And what Stacey Abrams said, well, they got information. Yeah, it's called the age of knowledge. The Bible predicted that. We will be in the age of knowledge, and that's what we are in now. And liars like y'all have been, you politicians and preachers, you liars, they don't work too well in the age of knowledge, because you talking about fact checking, bro. We got ChatGPT now on our phones.
Yep.
ChatGPT give you more information than Google will just like this, real quick. You know, Google sometimes manipulates certain searches. ChatGPT give it to you like that. You ain't got to be going through all that mess with Google. Is this the right article? Is this the right? Yeah, we live in the age of knowledge.
Regardless, it doesn't mean that.
Just that simple. We live in the age of robots now. You understand what I'm saying?
Robots are
They're literally
programmed to lie
robots
to
running
you
around.
too.
That's the age that we're living in now.
Bunch of flaws.
So you think you're going to be able to lie to the people and not be able to stand on business and stand on the Lord's business? And at the same time, the Lord has said a long time ago that if you are wicked, even if you are lukewarm, he's going to spew you out.
I wish you would.
And Jamal, you're playing with God. You're playing. You need to repent and get your life right. You should not be out here promoting no Democrat woman that's out here promoting something that's totally against the scripture.
Right.
But that woman wasn't even raised with the Bible. She was raised to be a Hindu.
Mm-hmm.
But since y'all all in the boule, y'all clicked up, the boule is your God. Money is your God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people not putting up with y'all no more in the black church. That's why, Jamal. See, Jamal, somebody that knows Jamal, send him this podcast. Tell him you want to have a conversation about the black church. Let's have it. Because I have a whole lot to say to somebody like him.
Right.
Because people like him is why the black community is where it's at too. I know we talk about the 60 years of Democrats. Let me tell you something. That black church has done more damage to me than the Democrats. And I can go all day long about why the black church have done so much damage to the black community. The Democrats can do what they do because the black church went along with it. They went along with it. You understand? That's why the black church is not relevant. It's not going to be relevant. Shame doesn't have its perfect work no more. You don't have all the preachers. I didn't say some. You don't have all of them preaching hellfire and brimstone and thus saith the Lord. You want to go along to get along, and that get along is sin and unrighteousness. Why would anybody go to your church?
Right.
Why? Why would anybody listen to you? For what? And at the same time, people like to win. They look at you winning. You look like $1 million with a congregation that's poor. Who wants to follow that? It's just that simple. But the black church is finished in America. It's finished. Yep. And that's good. It needs to be. Because when Christ made his sacrifice, he didn't make a sacrifice for a building. He made a sacrifice for the people. And there's nothing in that scripture, definitely in the New Testament, that say you got to go to their church to find God or get salvation from the Lord. You can get salvation going directly to him yourself and changing your own life and following his words, his statutes, and his commandments and precepts. You don't need no Jamal who sitting up there will lead you to.
That's right, Uncle Phil.
No, he's right about that. Straight to hell. And most of these churches are synagogues of Satan.
Yep. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. So what are your thoughts on that? Dr.
Man, sir, there is no argument with undisputed truth. Only a fucking idiot would sit up and argue with undisputed truth.
Right. I agree, So Uncle Phil laid it all out. All right.
Yeah, he did that and then some, man. That man leaned and sheen and blazed and dazed all upside their domes.
Yeah, he did. Shout out to Uncle Phil. So yeah, the hell with you, Jamal, Bryan, and the rest of you Democratic shills and you whole pimps. We're not rocking with y'all.
And that's Resurrection of the Mental Dead. And we created that hashtag and the group. Please share it. Please share our episode.
That's right.
In the link. And the link is because Facebook is doing some shit talking about that we're going against community standards. You see, Brother Paris, they fucking with you. Now they coming with me.
Yep. And if Kamala y'all get in, they're going to be fucking with all of us.
Oh, yeah. No, they're just going to straight shut us down.
Mm-hmm.
That's for real.
All right. So moving along, we got MAYO mob harasses a young black male for no reason.
Where is this at?
In the good old state of Florida.
Oh, he's down there with the panties.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I'm pulling this up, I had a similar incident happen about 10 years ago out here in the good old state of Colorado. I was working for this window washing company, and they would drop us off in certain neighborhoods to wash windows. Well, this one particular day, they dropped me off in this lily white ass neighborhood just outside of Columbine Elementary, known as
shit.
Now, as soon as I touched down with my equipment, these troglodytes began to approach me in a very threatening type of manner. First, it was playful, then it got kind of threatening toward the end. And it got to the point where I felt like I was going to have to defend myself. And yeah, it was getting really bad. So I was going door to door in this neighborhood I had got dropped off in. And I was hit this whole turf up for the whole day.
Did you have your permits, paperwork in order?
I had everything in order. I had my name tag, I had everything together. These crackers wasn't trying to hear none of that. They kept asking me what I was doing there, and I'm like, I'm working. That's where I work. But I got dropped off at. These crackers had proceeded to offer me bus fare to leave the neighborhood. I continued.
Oh, that's intimidation.
I have a ride coming. I'm not catching the bus. I have a ride coming. But thank you. I'm going to continue about my business.
Right.
And that was my first and last time ever going to that goddamn neighborhood.
You did, right? Because you know what their next move was, right?
Kill, attack.
Oh yeah, I'm very, very familiar with that there, Brother Che, because I used to do door-to-door sales and had permits in order and what have you.
Certain neighborhoods you don't want to be caught in, especially after dark. And this was one of those.
Hell no, not after dark.
In a sundown town known as Littleton, Colorado. Like
I've been through Littleton, man. That motherfucker look hillbilly for real.
Oh yeah, it really is. It really is. It's a sundown town for real. So yeah, I was not ever gonna go back there. So this reminded me when I first heard this story, it had reminded me of that. And he harassed them for no freaking reason, just for being black. In the wrong. And the parents,
listen to Stevie. Yeah. Listen to Stevie Wonder's "Living for the City."
Oh yeah. Oh, that's some shit.
What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Blacc,
Suburban Slave
the most
Patrol.
dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you not to be a devil and harass black people walking down the street.
Right.
But you did it anyway, and now your ass is losing your job. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So very recently, there's been a video circulating on
this black experience, brother. We're happy to have you.
Black man walking down the streets of a neighborhood in Sarasota, Florida, and as he's walking, you can see behind him that he is being harassed by his white neighbors. So a bunch of white males are walking behind him, harassing him and, you know, constantly badgering him about where does he live, where are you going, what you doing, all that good stuff, all that good cliche devil activity, right? So, you know, the story has picked up now, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. I did post it on my social media.
Hey, twin.
I wanted to do a full video about it because these types of situations have been going on as long as Black people have been in contact with white people, okay? And definitely within this country. I know most Black males have gone through a situation like this. I know I've gone through it multiple times myself. I know family members and friends who have gone through the very similar situations. We kind of talk about it, or we might even joke about it. But there are Black people who go through this all the time, where they're basically just walking somewhere and minding their business. And you'll have white people who feel that they're either an authority figure or that they have dominion over the entire area, and they feel that Black people are not allowed to be there. Now, most of these situations usually end just like this, where, you know, there's no real violence happens, or maybe there's just a disagreement. But, you know, there are instances out here where this type of situation ends in violence. In fact, there have been a lot of Black males who have been brutalized, who have been severely injured, who have been maimed, or have even been killed, going through very similar situations just like this. Basically just being walking down the street or being in the
Marquette Park in Chicago.
Wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, when he went to
right? And all it takes is for a white person to feel that they have dominion over this area, they have dominion over your life, and they feel it's okay that they can take it because you're in their territory, right? So, you know, when I saw the video, it sparked some memories in me of similar situations I've gone through. I did watch and observe the young man's behavior in the video, and the only thing I guess I could say that he did right was he remained calm. Like, he didn't really become confrontational with the guys. He was kind of like laughing it off. The only thing I will say to the young man, and I think it's mostly an age thing, because I think he was a teenager, you know, he didn't seem to take the situation very seriously. And that is the world that we live in now, where a lot of young Black men think that things have changed, racism doesn't exist. They may have some white girls who flirt with them at school or on social media, so they don't think that something bad can come of a situation like this. They think everything is all to the good. Remember the motion picture man Dingo that me and Sarge realize that they might actually be in danger in this situation.
And keep in mind, Florida is a slave state.
When you'll have Black people,
it's part of the South.
When we're in situations or in proximity to each other, we automatically go into defense mode, and I might have to protect myself from violence. Like we've been so brainwashed by this society that when we're around each other, we feel that we might be in danger. Like if someone's in like a Black neighborhood or around a bunch of Black people, we're like, oh, this Black person might rob me, or this Black person might steal from me, or want to fight me, or whatever, right? I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I'm just saying that we're automatically in that defense mode. I've even had that feeling myself sometimes, being in neighborhoods that I don't know. But, you know, when we're in these situations or in these neighborhoods with white people, for some reason we think we're very safe. And I'm here to tell you that that's not always the case. Right. Because I said,
Tri-City called San Marino, California.
One white person to feel like he is the authority figure. He still thinks it's, you know, the 1800s where he can ask you for your freedom papers, and all hell can break loose and things can go left very quickly, right? You know, it's bad enough you gotta watch out for these devils who have authority, who actually do have authority, like a police officer who has a badge, and he thinks that badge gives him the right to take your life and harass you. But now you have these just regular citizens in this country.
Police evolved from slave patrollers. They are policy enforcers.
Who you are, what you're doing, where you're going, right? And they have no right to do that, none whatsoever. Just like George Zimmerman had no right to be harassing Trayvon Martin that night in Florida.
Right.
Just like, what happened with Ahmaud Arbery, those McMichaels family guys, the father and the son, they had no right to be harassing that man, right? They had no right to be asking Ahmaud Arbery where he's going or what he's doing, but they murdered him anyway, right? And this young man in particular, I don't know his name, but he was very fortunate in this situation that he was able to get out of there without any injury. And there's one point in the video where this white man, he drove his car up to the curb and acted like he was going to do something to this black boy. In fact, a lot of people are thinking that he was getting ready to pull a gun or pull some sort of weapon. The police pretend like this hasn't been proven yet, even though it's on film. They claim that they can't see anything. Now, if there's a black person doing that, they would arrest him quick, fast, in a hurry. But because it's a white gentleman, he gets away with it. But this particular white male has been fired from his job now. I believe he worked for the stock exchange over in London, and he was living in Florida. But he's been fired from that job for doing what he was doing, harassing that young black man. But like I said, there's so many of these people out here who feel that they are an authority figure and they have the right to harass you and ask you where you're going and what you're doing. You don't have that right, mayonnaise mutant, okay? I know you've been filled with so much nonsense by this country, and you think that the rules of this country only apply for you. But I'm here to tell you that does not give you authority over my life and my being, okay? I live in places wherever I want to live. I walk wherever I want to walk. Understand that? You don't have the right to tell me where to go, because God knows when you walk in front of my house, if I decide to harass you and ask you who you are and where you're going, you'd have a high holy fit. You probably start crying and calling the police for help.
Yeah.
Right? If I did that to you. Mm-hmm. But, you think that if a black person or a young black man is walking around, you have the right to harass them, and you do not.
You do not.
You have no right whatsoever to do that.
That's right.
Okay? It doesn't matter whether he's actually from that neighborhood or not. You don't have any right to harass that person. Right? And the young man, based on what he said, the only reason he was even there, he went outside to try to get bars on his phone because, the phone wasn't working inside because a lot of the power was out in that area because of the hurricane that just passed through. Okay? So he's trying to just walk around outside and talk to his girlfriend. He's minding his own business. You folks were harassing him. He was not doing anything to you. All right? So for black men out there, especially the young ones out there, if you haven't been through this situation, God bless you, but I'm sure most of you have been through this by now. Please be careful, okay? Don't think because you're in a white neighborhood or a suburb, this can't happen to you. In fact, the richer, the more affluent the neighborhood is, the higher chances of something like this happening, okay? I've been in areas or walked around areas where you're supposed to be somewhat safe, but then white people harass you about what you're doing there, right? Like, there was an incident very recently. I wanted to do a video about it, but I just never got the chance, where there was an Uber driver, a black male Uber driver. He was dropping this teenage girl off to her house, a white girl, of course, and the father ran outside with a damn rifle.
Oh, hell.
And was about to kill this black man. He made the black man get out of the car, get on the ground, hand over his wallet and his license. And now the father, he's on trial. He's acting like he did nothing wrong. The white man's acting like he did nothing wrong. He's like, I was trying to protect my daughter. It's like, dumbass, this black man was just doing his job. He was dropping your daughter off. She called him.
Right.
And he was taking her from the whatever spot she got picked up
Miss
from.
Becky.
He was bringing her to her house.
Becky syndrome.
He had no right to come out there and basically assault him and rob him at gunpoint. That's what you did, devil. Okay?
So that's armed
That's what I
robbery.
mean. Like, these people, they think they're an authority figure and they can just do whatever the hell they want. And by the grace of God, this young man survived this incident. But I know there's a lot of black males who have been through this situation. Okay?
Tell me about it.
If you are a black man who's been through this situation,
Go to San Marino, California.
Let us know in the comments section.
Oh yeah, go.
All right, I'm sure there's even some black women who have gone through this situation, but I know mostly it happens to us black males. So you folks let me know how you feel about this story in the comments. I'm going to try to keep an eye on it. I've noticed they're trying their best.
Yeah.
So that hotel you stayed at right up the street there, I guess some illegals had for the armed robbery or something.
Listen to this. Okay, this I got to say right here is definitely going with the narrative that we're doing now. This here is from Ebony Pictorial History of Black America, African Past, the Civil War, written by the infamous one and only Mr. Lerone Bennett, who was a major contributor to Ebony magazine, as we know. Belying the widespread contention that slaves were incapable of creative or imaginative work, many town slaves worked at artistic crafts such as stone cutting. Very important. Stone cutting, Brother Che, engraving, and the making of musical instruments. Most of the artful wrought iron works of the famed balconies in the French Quarter of New Orleans were done by slaves.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, you say, so what it is that for all you assholes out there that say that we are racist and all of this, we are bringing you face to face with your antebellum Southern heritage, as you crackers say. I see a white boy here.
Face with your anti-black hatred.
Okay, now here's one for you, Brother Che. You're going to love this. I saw this hillbilly, fat ass, pot gut, beard belly, fat motherfucker with a shirt on that says American by birth, but Southern by the grace of God. Understand? Listen to me again. Southern by birth. No. American by birth, Southern by the grace of God. Okay, so the first thing that's going through my mind with this motherfucker is, what God do you worship? I think you're worshiping that motherfucker carrying a pitchfork. Kiss my ass.
They're worshiping white Jesus. That's what they worship.
Yes.
Caesar Bagaro. That's what they're talking about. So rappers, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about black Jesus like Putin was talking about. They talking about white God.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving along, Shabaka.
Yes.
This young man is very lucky he did not lose his life. Perhaps to violence to defend himself. That is a reality every day for black men in America.
Yeah.
So moving along, we got MSNBC host has meltdown. Oh, I already did that one.
Which one is that?
Black man shocks MSNBC host Alice Wagner on his stance about illegal migrants. Ooh, this is a doozy, y'all. Let's see if Uncle Phil gonna give us the update on this again.
Ladies and gentlemen, MSNBC once again is finding out the truth that a lot of people are just not feeling what the Democrats are serving to America, and definitely black Americans are not feeling it whatsoever. So I want you to check out, they had talked to a black man and a Latino about why they're not really feeling Vice President Harris on a lot of issues. Let's check this out.
Idea of mass deportation, largely. You have criminals in this country who are destroying our nation. They're coming in here, getting earmarked bills and policies to open up businesses, get free housing, get access, easier access than those who are legally immigrated to this country to welfare and other benefits. So, like, as a taxpayer, we have to pay for these guys to have luxuries of life, and we don't get anything, especially Black Americans who've suffered so much in the system under Democrats. We don't get anything. That's insane. You talk about Springfield, Ohio, and the whole thing with the fluff talk of, oh, grabbing the soundbite about Haitians or whatever is eating cats and dogs. Y'all trying to change the narrative of what he's really talking about. Change the narrative of really what we're talking about and telling us that's what we should be discussing. No, this here, this is what we're discussing. This here, this is America. And this is what America is about and what we're discussing.
I told you a lot of Black men aren't down with all this illegal immigration. It's like that brother said. You bringing in men of other nations. You're papering them up. You're putting them in hotels. You're treating them like queens, literally.
Yeah.
That's how you treating them. And then while Black American men, only thing they've asked for is a job. Hey, give us our reparations. Give us our just due in society. Hey, we need some business loans. Let's go ahead on and get us that. We need some grants. We need whatever so we can take care of our own families. You understand what I'm saying? We want to take care of our families no different than any other man that is in this country. But the Democrat Party has set up here and prioritized men and women and children of other nations who chose to come up here. Talking about they want a better life. Make that life where you at. Or you want to go get a better life, go to the next country next to you. No, they didn't want to do that because the country next to them is not going to give them free stuff. They're going to say, okay, if you come here, you got to get your behind out here and work and get it like you're supposed to by the sweat of your brow.
Right.
And these men of other nations know the Democrats would give them everything and they only have to work. That's what a lot of people are seeing. Black Americans or Americans in general don't benefit from immigration. How does immigration help me? How does it help you as a Black American? How? It doesn't help us at all. That's bringing in more mouths to feed. We already got a housing crisis in this country. So that's more people that's going to be trying to compete for a place to stay. Then they bringing people in unchecked. So you're importing a lot of criminals in this country. Yeah. The situation, and then, let me tell you something, this migrant crisis was created by Harris.
Yeah.
She created that with her partner Biden. They created that together. They created that migrant crisis to spite Trump because Trump had the migrants in check, letting them stay in Mexico with that. Yeah. They want to do everything they could to spite Trump. With all these high food prices, let me tell you something. You know why your food price is so high? Let me tell you why. On top of just inflation. You're not talking about importing 20 million people in here and now they want food too. You feel me? The way it works in a capitalist society, supply, demand. You have a higher demand, don't have you got a lower supply, you raise the prices. If you have a higher supply, lower demand, then you have to drop prices. You understand? That's the way it works. So them bringing all those people in here also affected our inflation too. But nobody wants to talk about that. You dropping off all these people in Chicago. You dropping all those people off in New York. You dropping these people off in Houston. You're dropping them off in Dallas. Now you're trying to drop them off in Atlanta, DC, wherever you're dropping them off at. You're not bringing nothing good to those cities other than more mouths to feed, more houses and apartments and everything else that they need. And that's the killer part. While you as an American you got to have credit and don't, God forbid you had a criminal record. You can't get an apartment, whatever, but these migrants will come over here, start off new, clean and fresh. Get a new social security number, get loans, get everything, right? And then they come over here much older. So they don't have to deal with the sins that they pass or mistakes they made with their credit in the past because they come over with a blank slate. So if you go somewhere at 40 years old or in your 30s with a blank slate, you know better now. You're going to do a lot better than people having to deal with their financial mistakes or whatever mistake they made from back in their 20s. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So any Black man or any man in particular in this country would tell you that, hey, it is a good thing if Trump wanted to go it on and get them out, because there's less mouths to feed, there's less homes you have to compete for, there's more jobs that be available to you if you want it, because now the men are trying to get these jobs. They're doing secret job fairs for these men.
Mm-hmm.
These men are doing all kind of things in this country, but American men, Black American men in particular, no, we have to say something.
Right.
That's why I wasn't voting for it, and I didn't. I did not vote. Listen, I ain't no way that I know what I know about the migrant crisis, know what I know what's happening to Black people in Chicago, New York, Houston, Dallas, and anywhere else that they have been putting migrants, right? Of course, there's not a crisis in Houston, but they still go there, right? And in no way that I can go in the voter booth and go vote for her, knowing all that. That's the thing. When you know better, you do better. And I know a whole lot of things, at least information in the area with these politicians. I'm not caught up on no emotion with nobody. What I look at is the bank account, the community's bank account. Because yes, we have a community bank account. In other words, what we don't get, resources and all of that, that's affecting our bank account as a community. We are about our bank account now. We ain't talking about all this color mess and all that. When I say color mess, I mean symbolism. We talking about our community, the Black American community. That's it. Our lineage, our group. That's it. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
They can't play this the first Black this and the first Black that. It don't matter. What are you going to put in our bank account specifically, or the community bank account? Like reparations for the community.
Right.
You feel me?
That part.
And a lot of Black men are fed up, and other groups of men too are fed up with this unchecked immigration that Harris brought into this country. No way. Listen, you want 20 million more? Go vote for it then. Go ahead. But I don't want to hear it. Go vote for her if you want 20 million more in here. It's time. It's time. They got to go on back home, go fix their homeland, and all of that.
Right.
That's what they need to go do.
Yeah.
You understand? But shout out to our brother. Because MSNBC been really getting an earful. And it's about time. Because they live in La La Land in their studio. When you actually get out there and go talk to the people and see how they really feel, yeah. They're going to let you know. They definitely going to let you know what the deal is. And right on for that. There's nothing about illegal immigration that benefits the Black man of America, or the Black woman at that, because there's other women coming in here trying to get places to stay, eating food, having children in the daycares, and competing for jobs and all that. That affects Black women too. So no, in no way, shape, or form, now I'm going to vote for my own demise.
Thank you.
I agree with you on that there, Uncle Phil. This is going to be my last segment right here with Sister Lisa Cabrera.
Okay, that's understandable. What you about to go ahead, Lady? What you thought?
What was your final thoughts on that?
My final thoughts on what Dr. Phil just said?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Just like what we just read here out of Lerone Bennett about all them iron gates and stuff produced by slaves in the French Quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Say we were iron workers, skilled craftsmen, and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
You say?
Shout out to that young man. His parents taught him right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he let them have it. He told them what the TI is. And they didn't know how to take it.
Right.
He definitely gave me hope for the future.
I didn't see the clip, and I didn't hear too much of it. But what I did hear was part of Uncle Phil talking about the migrants situation. And my thoughts were, how does it help us? I mean, well, that was been the question, because they had said these were economic migrants at one point. They were supposed to help our economy. But I don't see how that is helping us. I don't see how it was supposed to help us, because Like, think about it. They invested so much money into it. Where is the money coming back from? Is the question. Because if they came in like so heavy, and the states have invested so much money into the migrant situation, when do the states start to recoup some of this money? Question mark. And how are they supposed to recoup this money? Question mark. That's my question. Also, too, you're right where you're at, Jesse. Do you see any drink mixes?
No.
You're not even looking. Your eyes are closed.
Yes, I am looking right now.
Where are you looking? Because your eyes
I'm
are
looking
closed.
right over by you.
No, right here in front of you, the whole desk.
No.
Do you see any packs of Kool-Aid mix? How about right on the floor?
No.
And the Tropicana cups and things like that?
No.
All right, thank you. So, can anybody answer my question about that? Because, yeah, I heard what he said, and it sounds great and everything. I did hear what he said. I read what Phil said.
But you didn't hear what the young man said.
What did the young man say? Because it wasn't, if Uncle Phil's having these questions, can I ask my question? How are they supposed to help? Because that's what he asked.
They're not.
So why are they here?
Ask Biden and Kamala Harris why they're here.
Jesus, are you serious?
All right, well, moving on to the next topic. RIP to Ahmaud Arbery, McMichaels, and Bryan want a new trial. Hell
Why?
to the no. I don't know why. Listen to the video and you'll find out why. They want a new trial. Hell to the no.
They here just automatically say no, huh?
And Lisa is going to give us an update on this. Hell yeah, I said automatically no. To hell with them. You can rot in the fucking
Herbal blend, the biggest.
Okay.
Never do.
I don't get why we're going over it if you already you.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, the McMichaels are back in the news again. They are requesting a new trial. I don't believe this should be granted to them. You know, you chased down an innocent man and you unalived him. Why should you get a new trial?
Right.
What, jail is an inconvenience? What's that saying? Don't, if you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. Well, what do they expect?
Fuck them.
You know, what you did, and y'all, I got an update on Jackie Johnson, and it's really more of the same, but it just goes to show you what privilege really looks like in America. So the McMichaels, to me, got a lot of nerve. They really do. They have a lot of nerve, and they have no business demanding anything at this point. They need to just be quiet, do their time, and, you know, they're in fear they're going to, you know, be gone and not ever see the light of day. They want to get out and live life again. But I don't believe they deserve that at all.
At all.
Let them sit there and rot.
That's all I say.
Georgia men who unalived Ahmaud Arbery want a new trial. 3 white men serving life in prison for Ahmaud Arbery chasing him down back in 2020 returned to court on Thursday to request a new trial from a judge.
Fuck them.
So the
Fuck the
attorneys
goddamn
for Greg
kangaroo ass
McMichael
courts.
and his son Travis and their former neighbor William Roddy Bryan began making a range of arguments for a new trial, from a tainted jury
Oh my God.
to ineffective counsel. Oh, now your counsel was ineffective? Oh, please. This is what one of the men are claiming. No, the jury made the right decision. They did. So anyway, Superior Court Judge Timothy Walmsley, who was the judge in their 2021 murder trial, handed down their sentences alongside up to 2 days to hear their legal motions.
I'm good now.
Well, if it's the same judge, he should turn them down.
Right.
And stick to whatever the sentence was. And, you know, it's life, then it is what it is. The McMichaels armed themselves with guns and jumped into a pickup truck and chased Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man, after they saw him running past their house on February 23rd, 2020, in a subdivision outside of Port City of Brunswick. Bryan joined the pursuit in his own pickup truck and recorded the cell phone video. Do you know that idiot thought that recording was going to get them out of everything? He thought it was going to get them out of everything.
That's dumb.
So Travis McMichael firing gunshot blasts at close range into Arbery. And we know Jackie Johnson went above and beyond to keep her friends out of jail. And that case is literally going nowhere. And I'm going to do an update on that on live tomorrow. So anyway, Donaldson said the man identified in court only as the juror number 30 was interviewed by a private investigator working for the defense team in 2022. He said the juror said he prayed after the final jury was selected, and he was the only black member of the panel. I felt like the weight was on me. So the judge said that he would allow the juror to testify with limitations. The judge said that the man would be prohibited from discussing any jury deliberations, which are shielded as private by law. No arrests were made, you know, for over 2 months after the unaliving of Ahmaud Arbery, until Bryan's cell phone video was leaked online and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation took over the case from the police. Ahmaud Arbery became part of a broader reckoning on racial injustice in the criminal legal system, along with the police unaliving of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Right.
So
and Mario Woods.
I don't think they should get another chance. I really don't. And I hope the judge will tell them they have to serve their sentence. Whatever sentence they got, they have to serve it. Coming in court and trying to add a new twist to your defense, and I didn't like my lawyer, I didn't get a fair trial because the jury didn't agree with me. That shouldn't be good enough.
Right.
Serve your time. Be quiet. Go back in your cell. Serve your time. Do whatever you have to do, and let that be the end. These guys don't deserve another chance at freedom at all. They denied Ahmaud Arbery his freedoms and his rights, so why should they enjoy those things? They shouldn't. Let them sit there and rot. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. I mean, this shouldn't even be coming up at all. These folks haven't done hardly any time. When they got sentenced, 2021, and this is 2024, 3 years later, man, get out of here. No, I hope it gets thrown out immediately. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.
My thoughts on that, sir, that is a waste of the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Straight out, it's a waste of the taxpayers' money. Hopefully the damn judge will go up there and deny that shit, throw the motherfuckers back in the goddamn slammer where they belong. Then what they're gonna do is they're gonna appeal it to this the appellate department of the Supreme Court of the great state of Georgia. Throw the motherfucker out there, take the shit to the U.S. Supreme Court, and throw the motherfucker out right there. And then hopefully it'll take them 10 years to get to that point, and the motherfuckers will be dead just off the law of biophysics.
Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
he's talking to you.
Go ahead, Shabaka.
He already said it.
Yeah, like I said, let them appeal it. Let the appeal be denied at the state level.
Yeah.
Then take it to the U.S. Supreme Court of Appeals or the U.S. District Court of Appeals. It's going to take forever to go through that process. Then when they're denied, hopefully they will be, then take it up to the U.S. Supreme Court, and that shit should drag on for a minimum of about 5 years, and hopefully them sons of bitches will be dead.
All right. And hopefully it get denied each and every time, too.
No, that's my point. Each and fucking every time they get denied at each step, then it's going to take another 6 months to a year to go to the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Then another 2 to 3 years after that.
Yeah.
So hopefully them no good bitches are dying there. And I hope they getting fucked in their asses too, the no good motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're probably getting all of that and then some, Shabaki.
Yeah.
I don't know why they keep applying. Like, I don't know why anybody keeps trying to reappeal.
Okay, the reason why they do that, Brother Che, I'm sorry, the reason why they do that there, Lady Che, apologize, is because they're down there in the good old South. And these hillbillies, these good old boys, know the sheriff, know the judge, just like that crooked ass lawyer who killed his son in Carolina, you know, got locked up. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now each stage of the appellate process that they will go through, right, will take longer and longer. And then keep in mind, when they go to the appellate courts themselves, the judges in there will decide to hear the case, because in the appellate courts, you're going like between 3 judges, okay? Then when you go to the state Supreme Court, what is that there, Brother Che? The common factor in most state Supreme Courts is 5 justices, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, then when they reject the motherfucker, hopefully the U.S. Supreme Court of Appeals will be out for the session. More time they gotta wait. Go through that. Hopefully they'll deny it. You see what I'm saying? Then that's gonna take some more time. Then go to the U.S. Supreme Court, depending on who Trump or Kamala pick, you know, to serve out expiring sentences and what have you, when the motherfuckers start dropping off dead because you got the job for life. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll take about another 7 or 8 years before the case is heard. And then hopefully these sons of bitches will do their time and die in prison.
Yeah.
See, it's chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
And on right there, folks. Okay, I'm going to bid you all a good night. Definitely share the link to Champions Brew. It's real good coffee for coffee drinkers. You can order online. And then I will get with you tomorrow, Brother Che, because the show is already done for Tuesday night. Please share the link to it.
Mm-hmm. I'll do my best.
Oh, yeah, because I know you're busy. Because, you know, you're running for the Colorado State Assembly. Mm-hmm. And keep up the effort of what you're doing in your political career, because you are definitely making a name for yourself. And fuck motherfuckers who don't like it.
Right. That's right.
Exactly. And fuck motherfuckers who don't like it, you know. Because this fervor that this orange motherfucker has created in the last 8 years, man, is it's a beast. You know what I'm saying? It's a beast.
That fervor exists on both sides.
Oh yeah. We damned if we do and damned if we don't on both sides. I mean, so basically, it's just a choice of selecting a lesser of two evils.
And
but as far as I'm concerned,
less evil than Kamala.
Yeah. The dump is dangerous. Kamala's diabolical.
They're both dangerous.
So we got to diabolical. So we as a people need to shore up everything we can. Goods, survival kits, bug out kits. You see what I'm saying? Some new inventors out there how to treat unsanitized water to make it edible.
Mm-hmm.
Say, because there's a storm coming, folks. Mm-hmm. And that is no bullshit. So with that, okay, so with that being said, all right, twin. With that being said, Brother Che, hopefully your ponies lose tomorrow and then go back and run and eat oats.
We're not going to lose to the worst team in the NFL, Shabaka. So.
Well, with them being Panthers, automatically, I got to go with the Panthers, although they playing like shit. They probably the sparring partner for the whole goddamn NFL, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the Raiders.
And I hope the Gators actually win tomorrow.
Well, if they change the goddamn coach, bring up the assistant coach, bring up the assistant general manager, and tell the coach and the current general manager, you motherfuckers is taking this squad downhill, which they are. You guys are not living up to the imagery of pirates and raiders. You motherfuckers are sitting up here living up to the imagery of a bunch of scrubs and bums and washwomen.
Yep. That's your team, no, Shabaki.
Well, we pirates, man. We sell ships on dry land, man.
I don't sell nothing because you ain't got no land to sell on. You ain't got no sea to sell on. You ain't got no boat to sell on.
But we got dry land out here. Raiders, and more Raiders, although you motherfuckers are playing like bums.
Playing like Gators. In a man.
Well, hopefully the ponies lose tomorrow.
Broncos.
GMO oats, you know what I'm saying?
Them oats gonna give us horsepower to run all over them.
Yeah, because they GMOs. Y'all is cheating. Y'all is up there using performance enhancers and shit like that.
Them Panther cats are going down, and unfortunately, the Coops are gonna stomp y'all out.
Well, hopefully the Panthers, man, since they backed into a corner, to quote Huey P. Newton, a Panthers as a defensive fighter, when cornered, it annihilates his enemy absolutely, completely, and unconditionally. All right, so I bid you all a good night here from Sin City, Nevada. Oh, by the way, it's 63 degrees. It's 63 degrees, and it's supposed to be 63 degrees and sunny tomorrow. Now, that's survivable.
That's cold for y'all.
Yeah, it is. But the desert, as you know, Brother Che, goes from one extreme to the other. And it's time to make that shift. All right. Okay, and thanks to Lisa Cabrera for her great work of what she does. And also, Ms. Cabrera, please check us out when you can. We know you're busy. I very much would love to come on your show because I tried to call you one time and the damn phone decided to glitch. You know what I mean? Yeah, and we wonder why. No good bastards, you know. Okay, folks, I'm out. Okay, from Sin City, I'm out. All right.
All right, so the next topic is former Georgia DA Jackie Johnson case reaches 3-year mark with no trial. If y'all recall, the same DA that refused to charge the McMichaels in the murder death of Ahmaud Arbery. And again, it's Lisa.
This story proves privilege, big time. And it just proves also how the system is complete garbage. And if this does not show you how it is designed to get them folks out of everything and punish us for every little minute thing, even for things that never happened, then nothing will ever prove it to you. Shalom to everybody in the chat. All right, let me share my screen. You know, because this whole thing is a joke, and the judge in this case is trying to pretend like their hands are tied. Okay, so this judge, hands are tied, really? How are they tied? And you're a judge.
Right.
So if you are familiar with the Ahmaud Arbery case, then you would know who Jackie Johnson is. She is the DA. She's no longer the DA. She was voted out after what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. And she tried to protect the killers. And they ultimately did not go to jail for a little over 2 months after Ahmaud Arbery has left us. And she feels she didn't do anything wrong. But, you know, that's the history. Whatever they do is always justified, you know, that BS. And that's exactly what it is, a load of BS. It is just people that have designated themselves to believe they should be able to get away with any and every type of crime against us. And they have gotten away with it. The vast majority of them have. So listen to what they're doing in this case, y'all. Judge hands are tied. Jackie Johnson case turns 3 years old with no trial date. You know how unheard of that is? That is unheard. Look, Diddy just got arrested, right? What, a month and a half ago? And he already got a trial date in May of 2025. I think it's May 5th. This woman, you got to think about it. Ahmaud Arbery happened in 2020. The McMichaels went on trial in 2021. And this DA was charged. There's still no trial date. You can't tell me this is not privilege. Right. You can't tell me it's not. Delays in the criminal case against Jackie Johnson, accused of abusing her role as DA for the Brunswick Judicial Circuit to shield the killers of Ahmaud Arbery, will stretch into the 3rd year next week with no trial date and little court activity to speak of. So they are trying to keep her out of jail indefinitely. So if you set no trial date, that's exactly what you're doing. You're keeping her from being punished for the crime she committed in her position. Steele is the attorney of record for rapper Young Thug in the Fulton County racketeering case, and he is physically in court in Atlanta every day. There's legal conflicts that prevent him from taking legal action in other cases where his presence is needed. So he really needs to focus on the client that he's currently on trial for, Colette Steele, Bryan Steele's wife, and an attorney, told The Current Wednesday. The delays have little legal precedent in Georgia, and a few options exist for the semi-retired Bullock County Superior Judge overseeing Johnson's case, or Georgia Attorney General's office prosecuting her case, according to a legal expert. The judge's hands are tied, said Melissa Redmond, an assistant professor with the University of Georgia School of Law, because the Atlanta case involves someone who is in custody and a trial that is already in progress. A judge is not going to pull steel off the case to represent someone who is on bond for a non-violent offense. Ooh. That's what they're saying. Johnson has been out on bond since September 2nd, 2021. Ooh. That's when she was hit with charges of interfering in the investigation of Ahmaud Arbery's murder on February 23rd, 2020. Should Judge John Turner set a date for Johnson to go on trial, the move would be of little use if she or her attorney don't show up. But I thought if people don't show up in court, y'all put warrants out on them. So if you set a date and she don't show up, shouldn't she be arrested? That's what you do to everybody else.
Right.
Johnson's situation is unlike most in Georgia's legal system, where defendants are more likely to claim they had ineffective counsel or request a speedier trial to get them out of jail or remove the stigma of a pending indictment. But Johnson, who was voted out of office in November of 2020, appears to not have a pressing need for speed. Oh, yeah, because you're trying to keep her out. And y'all, they can push this thing all the way through 2025, 2026, 2027 if they want. So really, when I read this article, it tells me when it comes down to the legal system, they pretty much can do whatever the hell they want. And that's what they're doing in the case of Jackie Johnson by allowing her to remain free when she shouldn't be free. Can you imagine that? This woman tried to protect the killers, but they put our people in jail for weed and give them astronomical sentences. This is where they need to step in and give an astronomical sentence to Jackie Johnson. But Johnson, okay, she was voted out. So the former DA has pled not guilty to charges that she used her authority to protect her former investigator and his son after they killed Arbery, which police had initially determined was a justified shooting. I know anything y'all do to us is justified. What a joke. 74 days went by before there were charges filed against the three men eventually accused of racially motivated murder and a hate crime. Johnson herself was indicted by Attorney General Chris Carr's top attorney, and community members were hopeful for a swift case like the one against the men who killed Arbery. But as more time passed, Johnson was spared the usual scrutiny that follows a criminal indictment. She spent no time in jail and was never officially arraigned. Only a little evidence has emerged, including logs of phone calls between her and Gregory McMichaels, her former investigator and one of the three men convicted of Arbery's murder. For LaTanya Abbott Austin, president of the Robert S. Abbott Race Unity Institute in Brunswick, and descendant of the Chicago Tribune founder, The delays raise questions of disparity in treatment under the law. She wonders, would a Black person in Glenn County receive the same luxury of time that Johnson, a powerful white woman, has received in a criminal case? Hell no. Hell no. And y'all know that. Y'all know that down there in Georgia. You know, but, you know, Georgia got a ugly history. If you go all the way back to chattel slavery, all the way up to present day, Georgia got a horrific history when it comes down to our folks. Horrible. It's like there's two completely different law books sometimes. No, all the time. It's a separate law for the melanated people here and a separate law for the non-melanated. And it's been that way from the beginning. So she said one for white Americans and one for Black Americans. Yeah, and y'all been playing that game forever now. So if she had a part in delaying the McMichaels and Bryan's arrest and their response, then she should be held accountable as well. For now, with charges pending, Johnson can still practice law in both Georgia and Florida. Ain't that something? So she can still work while waiting for her trial to come up. It sounds to me like y'all are just making her life convenient, and that's the way you want it to be for her. But in reality, this woman should be locked up, just like the McMichaels and Bryan was locked up. She should be sitting in jail too, but they're letting her stay out and stay out here and practice law in both Georgia and Florida and go on with her life like she didn't do a thing wrong. Right. This is unbelievable. But y'all, don't be shocked if all through 2025, she still is not going to have a trial date. They have done it all the way up until now. And it's disgusting. Because we see our people going to jail for crimes that never happened. We see our people go in for non-violent crimes and get astronomical sentences. And here you got a woman that took part in trying to cover for murderers, and she is still free, which is far worse than a lot of the non-violent crimes that our people have committed. So you can't come and keep telling us there is no privilege, because Jackie Johnson is the face of privilege. For real. So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. And I just want to say that thank you all for supporting my business. And, you know, I got people asking questions. And yes, if you are a person with thinning hair, my products will work for you. It will work in bringing your hair back in. If you are a man and you just can't get your beard to come all the way in, my beard oil will make your beard come all the way in. I still got people asking questions, but I guess these are people that never tried the product and they feel doubt. And I can understand where you would feel doubt, because you've been buying these products out in the stores forever and never saw the results that it claims you will have on, you know, the jar or the bottle or shampoo. And now I come along and I tell you you're going to see results and you have doubts. And I can understand where that all comes from. But if you want to see your hair come back in, give it a try. That's all I can say. And y'all, I got tons of pomade left. So if you're interested in buying some, this is the time to get it. I got a lot available right now. So, and this will grow your hair out just like the hair oil will. the pomade will too. So thank you, y'all. And we will come back together once again on a different topic. Shalom, family.
Prop 131 could make Colorado's elections too complicated, too expensive, and pay to play. Vote no on Prop 131.
With 2 minutes left. You say feel the super chats are used to showcase to others that we really support the channel. Hey, let me tell you something about super chat. I'll take whatever somebody bless me with. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying not to. That's not because if I didn't want you to do it, I'll turn it, because you can turn the feature off. Okay, I can easily turn that feature off. You can turn super thanks off. You can turn off anything as on your channel, right? So no, I appreciate it, because that's a couple of dollars I didn't have. Oh, we didn't have here. I'll tell you that much. And we need every dime, especially the way this year is going. This year is going crazy. It's really going crazy. Last year we were doing, ooh, man, we was rocking and rolling last year. Now this year we just, ooh, this year's been interesting. But I've talked to many other content creators. I've talked to even other business owners, and they said the same thing. We deal with the same issues and problems. But so she went on this strategy about Roe v. Wade, LGBT. Then she wants to do all this way forward and joy and vibes, and man, people can't buy joy. They can't spend vibes. They can't. LGBT and abortion is not going to help people with their bills. If she really wanted to win the election, she should have ran on kitchen table issues and immediately separate herself from Joe Biden in a way that, hey, that's his policy. My policy would have been this. And say, hey, yeah, I'm the vice president, but I didn't do it. This is what I'll do. She didn't want to do that. You already betrayed him. You might as well go it on and go 2,000% with it, right? Also, having the Democrat Shill just be on attack mode hurt her campaign as well. And I said that. I said there's Democrat Shills that's going to hurt her by crashing out on voters. You don't crash out on voters. You don't cuss out people that could potentially vote for you. You don't do that. That's like you got a store and a person come in your store, not you as the owner of the store, but someone working there just start cussing them out because they don't know if they want to buy something or not. So they getting cussed out. You should buy that, and all like just talking crazy. The person like, you don't talk to me that way. I'm leaving. Now, the owner of the store didn't cuss you out, but the people that support him do. You know how many people have been turned off to Kamala Harris based off these shills? I'm telling you, the shills have really hurt her campaign. Because I haven't heard her come out here and cuss anybody out. I haven't heard her screaming and yelling at people online. I haven't heard her do that. But all her surrogates, Obama too, he's hurting her too. When he went wag his finger at the brothers, he hurt her campaign. He didn't help her. And that's something y'all need to pay attention to. Don't have people around you that's gonna hurt you and you didn't even do it. She should have immediately came out when Obama said what he said. He said, oh, hold on. Hey, President Obama, hold on. No. Don't, you know, I support black men. I know black men trying to decide, like clean that up. Don't let that be out there, but she's still letting it. Listen, Obama should have been sent back to Martha's Vineyard after he said that. Straight up. His behind should have been sent back to Martha's Vineyard and say, oh, hey, President Obama, you done enough. Hey, I got to clean this mess up. Could you please go back to Martha's Vineyard? I don't need you right now because you hurting me. Because this is the thing about people. When you piss people off, they remember that. And so they keep seeing his face pop up on rallies. They going to keep thinking about, wait a minute, hold on, bruh. You was talking to us like any kind of old way. And they won't forget that junk. And who is going to hurt at the end of the day is going to hurt her. It's going to hurt her. Not him. He's good. Okay, thank you. I am Norma, joining as a member. I don't know what you're joining as a member of, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me get to my other screen here because I can't see my screen here. Okay, cool. Well, shout out to everybody in here. I know it's like 2,500 of y'all in here. I wasn't looking. A lot of times I'm not looking. I'm trying to focus on y'all, trying to focus on getting our work done over here. But, and there's another story that's not being told. Black women, because they made it about black men, black women aren't supporting her either. Black women are taking a big issue with her. And they keeping that, they trying to, I think recently MSNBC had talked to some black women and they was taking issues with her. And we definitely, I'm gonna talk about that on the podcast tonight. Actually, when I wrap this up, I'm gonna make that podcast. But a lot of black women are taking issues with her. They're not feeling that lady. Because let me tell you something, a lot of black women are getting offended at the cosplaying. You know, the cosplaying is the most offensive thing ever. Man, Kamala, you're gonna cosplay. You should have got you some box braids or something, Kamala. And you know, you got the same hairstyle. You don't change your hairstyle for nothing. That's why I know good and well you ain't no black woman. Because the black woman don't keep the same hairstyle. You ain't changed that hairstyle. So from way back when, it's still the same. I mean, but in your community, y'all wear the same hairstyle. I get it. But black women change their hair all kind of ways. Yeah, they may wear like yours one day. They may wear some box braids. They may wear some, you know, what they call that? What they call them boho, you know, braids. They may wear all kind of hairstyles, right? You know, they may wear it out natural. They may all kind of ways they wear their hair. So what woman you know that never changed her hair as a so-called black woman? So the cosplaying is offending a lot of black women, whether they openly say it or not. And some black women are saying, hey, why can't a real black woman run for president? Why can't we get a real black woman? A black woman that's a descendant of slaves here. A black woman that come from a freedman lineage. Why can't we have that? We haven't even had a freedman president. Barack Obama is not connected to our lineage. We haven't had one yet. He's the first black president. Now, he's not the first freedman. And if you think about it, the more and more, like when Sister Vicky made that live stream, and Ashley Ateen had talked about how he transcended race. It made sense the way he acted. And on top of that, I told y'all Barack Obama is a white man in the mind. You may see him and hear his voice and the way he walk and all that, but he's a white man in the mind. That's why he didn't want to talk about race. Because what black man who are finally in a position to help black people talking about, oh, I want to deal with all that race and all that. That's how a white man talk. So what we have learned is we don't want representation that don't have lineage with the freedmen, because you see what happens. If they don't have ties to the soil, they advocate for others, whether it's what group they come from, but they don't advocate for us as black Americans. And we got to look at that. Now you may say, well, I know this person, you know, they are first or second generation and they advocate, okay, they have to have a proven work. But you just come out of nowhere, like, who are you? And look at the Democrats. They didn't promote this. They could have had some FBA women that could have been the vice president, right? They had Val Demings. They had Keisha Lance Bottoms, right? Just name two. And they could have picked them too. But I notice a pattern with the Democrats. They don't want freedmen. They don't want FBAs. They want somebody with an immigrant background or somebody that comes from a mixed heritage that does not have them grounded in blackness at all. Because let's say you Jamaican. Well, if you are a real black Jamaican, a real one,
disruptive,
right? That's grounded in your blackness, and you understand you black, and you don't play all that. They don't want that kind of Jamaican. They don't want that kind of African immigrant. They don't want that. They want the ones that say, you know, why everything got to be about race? That's the kind of African or Caribbean they want. They don't want any African or Caribbean or whoever to come here and be about that business. They don't want Julius Malema or people that think like.
I'm sorry, y'all. Damn computer froze up. I appreciate y'all tapping in.
As far as, can I give my opinion on this?
Oh my God! Please make it quick.
Yeah, because I didn't know if this was a topic or not.
Yes, it was the topic.
All right, well then here.
But that wasn't it. We already went over this topic.
I didn't know that because you're sleeping.
Well, I told you.
So, all right, look, I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disruptive. I got kicked out of the program because there's something wrong with the StreamYard on this end. I don't know what that's about. I think it's just StreamYard link, personally. So, I was listening to it on this computer. I can't even see the program, so I was just listening to it blindly. My thoughts are this about what he's talking about. These are real petty marks, but they do matter. what he's saying, or like what he's saying, I guess if you want to think about it like that they're important, they're really not. In the sense of things, they're really not important, because one minute we're talking about policy, the next minute we're talking about identity politics. We're talking about what it shoulda, coulda, woulda done, or she shoulda, coulda, woulda did, and it doesn't really even matter. It shouldn't matter to us for a simple reason that she wasn't meant for us. So she's always been on the same shit since she was in California. So it should not have been any surprise. The fact is we wasted a whole year with this nonsense. That should be something we should really think about not doing. What I do think though is he's right about the lineage part. I do think that they tend to choose more tether-based or tether-bred, I guess you want to say, individuals when it comes to minorities or whatever. Like, so, nobody can say first black or the first Hispanic, anything, but, they're always from, like, say, another country, like the first Cuban, the first this or that, right? And I think they seem to think that they think more of tethering our government than they do of keeping it from the soil. And only when it's from the soil, you might want to look at who they actually pick. There's only been a few cases of individuals that we thought were just the shit. And there's maybe like under 10, 15 foundational people that have been in government in some way or shape or form that we just thought were amazing. I can't really think of who they are right now, but I just know that that's the case. Like, look at Eric Mays. You know what I mean? He's from the soil, right? Eric Mays is from the soil, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rest in power.
Rest in power. So there's been like 10, maybe 15 of those types. So I do see what he's saying, what Uncle Phil's saying, and I do agree with him. I think that they are trying to layer us up in the aspect of tethering or anchoring. I have a couple of questions, serious questions about it, but I don't think that they're going to be answered really in this show. But I do have real serious questions in regards to why anybody thinks this might be actually happening. But I do think that he's right in this aspect, that they don't want to see, especially in the role of president. I've noticed a lot of, like, we talk about this as a talking point about misogyny, right? Even I, as a woman, don't really know if I want to see certain females in certain political positions. But I believe that these kind of ideations stem from something else, right? It's one thing when a woman does it. It's another thing when a man does it in their own areas. They practice misogyny in like their home life, their school life, their work life. then they believe in that in real life. So I think that we should look at that. Just the same thing as feminism. Feminism is like you practice feminism all day long, right? So I think that these are kind of tactics we got to kick out of our system. Because if we go along with that role, those lines of thinking, then we'll never get anybody good enough, to represent us. And again, if you didn't think she was good enough, she did the work for your particular candidate. And what he's saying is crazy. He said, why can't we have a black vice president or black president? He didn't even mention Cornel West or Sister Abdullah, just in that sense. And those are two people we adamantly didn't have to question. That's all I have to say. Thank you. I'm sorry for the disruption. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna end the show. So thank you for tapping in to season 4, episode 31, part 1 of the Frontline Black News. We'll be back later on for part 2. Because the funny thing is, a lot of these presidents have immigrant backgrounds. So definitely no FBA. Yeah.
What did you say?
You said a lot of these presidents have
Tethering in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think he's right. I think they're layering it up not for any particular reason. I just don't think that they want from the soil person like FBA, NBA, brother and sister in there, because then they know that somebody's going to tell the truth. That's just like in the same case of like what Jesse's talking about in his state house representatives, right? It's the same situation. You'd rather have a white person in there, because then if you have a FBA brother or sister in there, like you've had before, they've had FBA in there, but the FBA told the line.
Yeah.
So you got to so if you put an FBA or NBA brother or sister in in any of these seats, one or two things gonna happen. They're either gonna toe the line or they're gonna buck the system. So when they buck the system, and they're known for bucking the system, they're not gonna necessarily get chosen. Look what happened to Nina Turner. Yeah, remember when Nina Turner was running?
Yeah.
And Nina Turner is like habitually line stepping or line crossing. You know what I mean? Which is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. So I just think he's right. I agree. I'm sorry for the disruption. Go ahead.
Yep, so that's going to conclude season 4, episode 31, part 1 of Frontline Black News. We'll see y'all tomorrow for part 2. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe to all our platforms. Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Blog Talk Radio on Facebook and Twitter, now X. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations of Black empowerment. Before we go, when are you going to join the next RBA, Lady Chen?
I don't know. I'm just asking if you're just going to ask me. I was just asking. But hope you were going to ask me before you did all that. All right. Stay black, stay dangerous, family.
Peace.